This is the XNC Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, XNC Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome to the XNC Podcast. I'm Colteastwood. Wait, he's down here. Meg, how are you today?
I'm down there on my screen. I'm off to the right, so I don't know what's going on here. I'm all over the place. I am great. You know what? Welcome to the chat, everybody. Welcome to the show. And let's get into this, man. We got some things to talk about. Last show of 2024, heading into 2025. New year, new me. No, it's not. It's just the same you and the same everything. So don't worry about it. But the one thing that's not going to be the same is that this year's 2025 coming out next year, is going to be one heck of a year for gaming. But we will talk about that on tonight's show. Colt, what have you been doing this week, my friend? I saw you release a new video. Everything is looking good over there. So how we doing?
Yeah, everything is really good. And when you said New Year's resolutions, I've never been the one to resolute New Year things. I don't pick a time in January when I say I'm going to change what I'm doing. I usually make changes like at a necessity whenever during the year, but you know, we're going to talk a lot about 2024, and I decided to kind of change my health a little bit. And so, yeah, I probably will do a New Year's resolution. And when it comes to making content, doing stuff with you on the podcast, the way I play games, not being so picky, and just making more content. So
yeah, man, that's my plan too. Lots of content. I mean, I've released 8 streaming videos now, just me playing games and whatever. My most successful was me playing Astrobot. That was a lot of fun, and it was so funny because there were so many old man moments in in the stream, and I'm like, "Where am I supposed to go?" I'm like, "What's happening?" And then the chat's going, "Dude, jump on the block and then jump on the flower." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, never mind." And then so it's kind of funny, like, listen, Connor Garrity, good evening, sir. Yes. So yeah, I was just enjoying that, having a great time playing a little Fortnite. Got a couple of battle royale or whatever they call it, the victory royales in there.
Yeah.
Of course, it was all me, not my son. He had nothing to do with it. It was me that got all the kills. But anyways, I did that. But I think I told you last week I got a copyright strike against me because I played the Mariah Carey song while I was emoting. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay. So I told my son, I'm like, dude, no emoting anything. All right, during live streams. He keeps picking Snoop Dogg, and then he's like starts playing "Drop It Like It's Hot," and I have to like run away so that like the YouTube bots don't hear it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, well, I
need like a physical mute button.
Oh, dude, it's awful.
Nice?
I know, just be able to do that. Like some games have that. What is it called? Like the streaming mode. You know what I mean? Like when you're playing a game, and then it'll say, "Oh, you could put on streaming mode so that you like licensed songs won't play when you get into a car and drive around or whatever." I would love that. They should have that option for almost anything because I mean, you know what I mean? Because like YouTube are like such strawberry milkshakes over there that you know. Dude, you can't say a word, and all of a sudden they're like, "We will be asking the questions." I'm like, "Sorry, sir." Jesus.
Tomorrow morning I'm putting out a big 20-minute video covering 2025, and one of the moments is like a quick montage of Outer Worlds 2. For Christmas, I should have got a new mic stand. And Outer Worlds 2 is like, "Ain't seen nothing yet, baby. You just say ain't seen nothing yet." And I'm like, how do I fix this? Because I want that part playing without me talking. And so I reversed the music and I kept cutting it over and over to where it would cut out the iconic guitar chords and the vocals. Because YouTube is brutal. I think anywhere from 3 to 8 seconds, you might be in the clear. But anything longer than 3 seconds or 8 seconds, you are copyright flagged. And anyway, that really sucks when you put a lot of work into something. But
that's why like TikTok is so great. You can use all like when you're making your little videos and your little vignettes, you can use whatever the heck you want. You know what I mean? All the licensed music, anything. It doesn't. I don't know how they get away with it or whatever else, but I don't know. Whatever, man. YouTube is gonna be, or Google's gonna be Google. Too Bad Stack in the chat saying Maggie should start streaming someone other than Fortnite. I think he meant something other than Fortnite. I do Astrobot, but I will give you a little game plan. I'm going to go back, and for every big game that we're going to talk about for 2025, when the new releases come out, I will be playing the previous game from that series in order to sort of warm up the crowd for the sequel. Like, for example, in March, I believe that the development studio that made It Takes Two has that other game coming out. We saw it at the Game Awards,
Split
right?
Fiction. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Split Fiction?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, I'm super hyped. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream It Takes Two, and I'm going to play with my son, and we're going to play that before the game comes out. So we're going to stream that whole game first as a celebration of the new game, and then of course we're going to stream the new game. I'm going to do the same thing for Borderlands. I'm going to play Borderlands 3 with the boy, and we're going to get all through there, and then we're going to go right into Borderlands 4 right online and stream. In between me doing videos, obviously, and I'm going to do the same thing with Mafia. I'm going to play all the Mafia games. I'm going to stream them all on there and do that, and then of course play the new one. So that's kind of how 2025 is going to roll around. So it'll be fun.
How are you feeling about maybe making some gaming news or gaming?
Oh, no, I am doing that.
Commentary. Like, we want to see what Mag has to say without me talking over you.
I am doing that on top of the streaming. The streaming is just going to be something I'm doing for fun, like once or twice a week, just have like a little chat with the community, whoever wants to come on, hang out, ask questions, whatever. And then I'm also going to be doing videos. Awesome. So I'm not like I'm going to be doing videos with commentary and stuff like that. Very simple, very rogue, very like guerrilla warfare style. I'm just going in there, gonna spit my bars for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Get everything out there on camera, do my thing, and then just keep it moving. I'm not gonna get it all fancy. It's not gonna be heavily edited. Just gonna be me on the mic saying what I got to say with whatever the big news is of the day, or if I get any scoops, which I get lots of, obviously. You know what I mean? And then just talk about that and say, hey, what do you guys think about this and that? Whatever. And, hit me up, that kind of thing. So that will be happening. But anyways, that's a story for another day. But either way, what are we talking about today, buddy?
Well, I mean, I want to piggyback off of what you're saying about content because you and I were talking before we started the show that, oh, by the way, I want to give you guys a warning. You're seeing gameplay over here. What you're going to see here is an hour plus of gameplay clips I've recorded from 2024 release games. So there's a little bit of Star Wars Outlaws, a bunch of Warhammer 40K, Stalker 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, a bunch of stuff like that. So it's going to kind of cycle through, and Mag and I are going to go through and talk about the games for the first part of the show. We're going to talk about 2024, and then we're going to get into talk about everything coming out in 24 or 25. But I wanted to say, this year was really weird. I have a special message at the end of my video tomorrow where, you and I went into 2024 already hearing about this multi-platform approach. And then I think it was January, February, Phil said that, he does his hands like this. He's like, this isn't a signal of what's to come. And then a month later, it's like absolutely the symbol of of what's to come. And so I just wanted to say that I was fairly concerned about my future as an Xbox content creator and, X&C, the Xbox newscast. And I just wanted to give such a special thanks to all of you guys here in the audience who have stuck with us. Are super excited, really hyper focused on that Xbox is really about the games. And that's what we've been talking about most of our time here. And I didn't give up. Some of my friends who will remain nameless completely stopped making content because it became so tumultuous as an Xbox content creator. They're like, oh, it's too negative, and there was so much to talk about that I just kept pushing forward. Thank you guys so much, and especially thank you so much to Mag for being an incredible. I don't even want to call Mag a co-host at this point because he's an integral part of everything we do here every Monday night. So, bro, thank you so much for being such a breath of fresh air and a level head and dealing with the toxic craziness with a big smile on your face. I appreciate you, and I'm sure the chat does as well.
Thank you, brother. Papa Baco, knock it off. Jesus. I'm reading everything he's saying in that chat over there. Buzz, I'm not all lit up again. No, I gotta go to work tomorrow, and then tomorrow night's New Year's Eve. But so I'll get lit up tomorrow night for sure. Anyways, yes, 2024. I gotta tell you, man. I got crucified and canceled. I don't know how many times for basically just telling the truth. And hey, it is what it is. And you know what? I'm glad almost everybody came around except for the extreme toxic people. But that's fine. Whatever. Those are people you don't want anyway hanging around. They're not good for your soul. They're not good for the conversation, and they're certainly not good for the community, right? So it's best to keep away from that kind of stuff. And hey, you know what? Like you just said, we push forward. You push forward with what you want to do. If you enjoy doing whatever, you will always have the options, as we discussed before. Xbox ain't going nowhere, and so we could still talk about it. We don't have to change the the name of the show to like instead of XNC, it's going to be the GNC, the Games News, whatever. You know,
the Gen. You know what does GNC stand for? The vitamin. The company.
Sorry, I was gonna try and say something funny, and it didn't come out right, and I probably would have said something really rude to get us kicked off of YouTube, but I decided not to say it. But either way,
the gynecological
we don't have to do any of that stuff.
Contacts or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a wild year, man. We're gonna be just fine. And listen. We got as gamers, we got a lot of great things coming up. We got a lot of things to talk about, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about what has been and what will be in the near future. So,
I mean, you played some great games. Yeah.
We all did. We all did play some great. Yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about 202024 then.
Yeah, I'll cover up this Star Wars Outlaw. I'll cover up the Star Wars Outlaws footage for just a second. I've got this. Okay, so I've got this listing here. That I kind of just scrapped together on a Google search before the show, and it is mostly the high clip games that came out in 2024. I skipped some smaller games, and there might be something missing from this. It's actually pretty big. I was like, wait, is Indiana Jones on there? Yeah. Is Flight Sims on there? No. So there's some games that are missing, but I just threw this together, and I thought I would run through and get your opinion and mine about bop or flop sort of thing, like hotornot.com. On these games, and I'll start with because some of these I haven't played. So I'll ask you, since you played this one. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was a big release. 24. Was it hot or not?
From the people I know that played it, they said it was hot. They said it was no. I bought it because I got it for 50 or 60% off on Black Friday. So I wasn't going to pass that up because it was the same week that the PS5 Pro came out, right? Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get my Pro. I got the Pro, and then there was a massive sale on a bunch of on the PlayStation Store during that time, and I'm like, well, let me get it. So I got it, but I'm so behind because you know me, I'm a completionist, right? So I'm so behind on some of my backlog titles that I have some huge titles to get through that I haven't even turned on yet, and they're still sitting there. Dragon's Dogma 2. Haven't even turned it on yet.
Oh my gosh.
Final Fantasy 16. Haven't turned it on yet. That's next on the list after Stellar Blade. And I also got distracted here and there because I had Xbox came out with 2 titles. So Call of Duty and Indiana Jones pulled me off the PlayStation, right? So I was on Xbox for the last 2 months playing those 2 games. And as a result, they were like, like the meme of like the skeleton. Or like the skeleton like at the bottom of the pool while the lady's saving the one, and then there's the kid drowning, and then there's that's what happened to my PlayStation in the last 2 months. Was like it was basically the skeleton in the bottom of the pool because I was playing Call of Duty with the community on Xbox, and I was playing Indiana Jones. So now I'm back. Now I'm back there. I'm playing Stellar Blade. Once I get the platinum on Stellar Blade, and I'm doing Astrobot live on the channel, and then I'm gonna get into Final Fantasy. So. From what I heard, long story longer, is that the people who did play it said it was fantastic.
Okay.
So I really look forward to it, and they said it's quite a leap from the first one. So I was like, okay, I'm really happy about that. And then of course they said on the Pro, it looks and plays absolutely magnificent. So I'm looking forward to it, but I heard it's great. So let's say hot on that one.
Hot on that one, yeah. It is one of those games definitely that looks good on the Pro, and that's been proven many times over. The next game that I only played with Gaz in an anime store was Tekken 8. I don't play fighting games, but I hear Tekken 8 was well loved, so I'm thinking that's a hot, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about Tekken 8.
So you played it with Gaz?
Yeah, I played it at a store on like a demo machine, like it was like right before the game came out,
like
or
you
when
saw
it was
him in
first
person?
released. Yeah, we actually played it. And he whooped my butt because I don't play fighting games, and we played 2 or 3 rounds, and then we walked off and played Dance Dance Revolution. So,
well, I'd love to see that. I'd pay a lot of money to see that. I would say, from what I've understand, same thing. I kind of dropped off fighting games, which is kind of funny because I got 2 fighting game cabinets behind me. But those are different days. Those are the 90s. I mean, I was a Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter guy. Just I don't know how many thousands of dollars I poured into those machines, and dude, I was damn good. I was the king. I was the king of the entire arcade when it came to Mortal Kombat. No one could beat me. But as for Tekken, I played a few on the consoles. Did not play the new one. But didn't the new one win the award at the Game Awards for Best Fighter? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah,
didn't it win an award this year?
Yeah, it probably did. I didn't really pay attention.
I think it won at the very beginning of the show. You know, like the first half hour, like the 7:30 to 8 p.m. before the actual show launches. They have that little half hour with, with the girl standing there with the mic, like off the stage.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about, like she's standing at the,
like
like
Sydney, whatever her name is, like way over on the corner, away from Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like the super tall, like she looks like a UFC fighter because she looks like she's like 6'2" and like could beat the crap out of me, which I totally
She was closer to the Muppets than Jeff was.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, exactly. So I think Tekken 8 won the award during that time.
Okay, so it's hot.
So,
it's a
so
hot or it's
I would
a
say it was hot on that one. And again, I mean, maybe we're frauding out here because those are two games that neither one of us have played. However, we're giving our there's going to be a few, but we're giving our judgment on it. But either way, let's go, baby. What's up?
All right, the next one is one that I played that didn't even come to console, but it will come to console. Is Once Human, and I did a video about this. It's a third-person open world crafting. It's like Power World with guns, with not a lot of cutesy creatures, but it feels more like State of Decay 2 with lots more backpack room. And if you get a chance, go to my Once Human addictive review. It's like 8 minutes, and it was a really good watch, actually. I enjoyed making the video, but that game was pretty cool, and it'll come to console eventually. Let me read some supers before we go to the next game, because there's just a couple here.
What do you think?
Connor Garrity, thank you so much for the 24 euro super chat. Says, what 2 games are you looking forward to in 2025? I'll give one, and then you give one, and then I'll give one, and you give one. Number 1 is Fable, Mag. 2025.
That's your most anticipated?
So, yeah.
I got to go with GTA 6.
Oh, bro. Okay. My number 2 would be GTA 6. What's your number 2?
I don't think Fable's coming out in 2025. That's the hill I'm standing on. I'm going to die on that hill.
All right.
So I'm going to go with Ghost of Yotei as my second choice.
Oh, that's another good choice. Yeah, that one's way up. Connor, that's a tough question for us because Meg and I probably have
holy crap
6 top 2 games, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Danny Passion official in the chat saying he goes, Mag, Tekken 8 is a 9.5 out of 10. So that was a big one. Someone else in the chat here, by the way, Ike Mama, you guys know anything about the Oblivion remake? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off cold with the super chats.
No.
We talked about it last week, Ike Mama, that it's, as right now, it's targeting June 2025.
Yeah.
It is real, and it is coming, and it should be within the next 6 months. We will probably find out more in January during a developer direct, but either way, sorry, Colt, go ahead.
I want to add to that. I wouldn't think that the Oblivion remake, although it's not just a port, would be at the developer direct. I am guessing that it's probably going to show up at the showcase in June with a release date like in 2 weeks to a month from then. I would not be surprised if it's like Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake by Virtuo Studio coming June 22nd or January or July. I'm sorry, July. Anyway, I don't know. That's my prediction. I don't think that game has any room in the fall. I'm with Mag. Yeah. It's probably an early summer game, and it's probably the ammo for that would be better to say you love Oblivion to death. We're giving you Oblivion like not long after the showcase. So I don't know much more about that, but we got
that's all I heard. So anyways,
carry on. Same. Red Wolf did a really great video about it last week where he talked about what it could be and what to expect because he's like an expert. Go check out his channel. Kasem, thank you for the 2 Rupel. I think I'm saying that right.
Rupee.
Rual. I think it's a Brazilian. Dang it. I think I'd learned this stuff by now. But thank you so much for the super chat. It says, Happy New Year. Best is yet to come. Yes. Things have been good. 2024 is rocky, but still great. I'm really looking forward to next year. Chris Williams, welcome to channel early access. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Appreciate you. You got you're hiking with your dog in the picture. I like that. Grandpa's Barbecue Gamecast says that he is on your Mag more than a co-host. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thank you, brother. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Literal Table 756 says with a 7 Canadian super chat says Xbox and Activision need to rethink their monetization strategy for Black Ops 6 before it's too late and any credibility the game has left is destroyed. Absolutely. It's a really well-received game. Meg, you probably have heard a little bit about their extra loot box monetization issue that came up this week.
Yeah, I saw Jez talking about it and I looked into it. And
what do you know?
This is the thing, and I know that he actually probably, I think he felt the same way if I read into it correctly, but and so did a lot of people in the comment section where they're like, "What did you expect when you put the game on a subscription service that normally collects them anywhere between $70 and $100 US?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they're going to make their money. They're just like a casino at this point. It's a casino. They're going to make their money no matter what. If you walk in there with $200 thinking you're walk out with 400, unless you're me, then you're going to lose all that money. You're still walking out of there without that $200. One way or another, they're going to get it back from you. And that is kind of how it all works out. This is going to be no different. Activision is going to continue to do that. You could just ignore it. Like, it's not like they're forcing you to do it. It's not changing the game. It's not changing anything else. It's not a pay-to-win situation. It's just going to give you different options, different skins, and then different, weapon skins and weapons and all that kind of stuff. And basically, at the end of the day, they're going to make up that money one way or another. Because if you're playing, like, let's say right now, okay, or let's say even up to last month, you paid for 2 months subscription to Game Pass. All right, that's $40. All right, so you've been playing Call of Duty up until this point, $40. Well, they normally collect 70 to 100 from the average Call of Duty gamer.
Yeah.
So at this point, in their mind, they're not making $40. They lost 30. Or even 60 if you want to go to like with the Vault Edition or something, right? So they're going to find ways to make up for that along the way, and that's just the reality of it. But again, it doesn't affect the bottom line for us as a gamer.
It doesn't affect the customer. Like, are these just additional?
Like a lot of cosmetics and no, God, no, it wouldn't. It's not like they're going to give you some magic gun that can like shoot through 5 guys or like through walls or anything else like that. It doesn't do any of those things. Yeah. Like, you're not going to do any of that stuff. So in the end, it really is just up to you as the consumer, which is fine. That's no problem. People walk around with their $30 Art the Clown skin, and then like you get other people can go around with their Cheech and Chong skins and everything else, and their Cardi B skins or whatever else. It's not going to affect anything. It's like me running around in Fortnite with my Mariah Carey Christmas outfit. I do it because I think it's hilarious, but it doesn't affect the game. You know what I mean? Someone could still walk up to me and blow my brains out, and that's it. I'm dead. And I rank whatever. I end
Some
up
of those skins make you easier to see. Or
yeah, no kidding.
Well,
it is pretty easy to target me when I'm wearing like fluorescent, like red with sparkly Mariah Carey outfit. You could see me from 2 miles away running towards.
Yeah, I got the animated, cell shaded Wolverine with the yellow outfit, and it looks like it's drawn in cartoon form. It looks so incredible, but like you're just easy to see in Fortnite. So
yeah, exactly. But
cool.
Anyways, that's the story there. But anyways, that's the story. So nothing to worry about if you're a Call of Duty gamer or anything like that. So
thank you, Little Table, for that. And yeah, they need to be careful about the credibility as far as how egregious they get. But Mag makes a good point. If it's not pay to win, I don't know. Like I do have this opinion, Mag, that people need to. Everybody buys these microtransactions, and that's the reason why they make them. So maybe stop spending money on them, everyone else, but they're not going to. Let people spend money on stuff they want to spend it on. Like complaining about their early access. Oh, someone pays extra to get it early. I don't think that's cool. It's like, well, I mean, let people do that if that's what they want. But if it's a multiplayer game, they get a leg up. They're going to get more practice. But, that's how capitalism works, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm kind of on both sides on that one. Danny Passion Official, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, Mag, name 5 PS5 games that aren't coming to PC.
I would imagine they're all going to PC at some point.
Yeah.
But they're not going to go day and date. They never will. That's never going to happen. I know that for sure. So but it is what, but they might shorten the window on some of them. The only ones that will go day and date are the ones that like a service game, like that they've already done before, like for example, Helldivers 2. That'll like Helldivers 3. Yeah, Helldivers 3 when it launches for PS6 will come to PC day one. I mean, it only behooves them to do so because then you can expand your audience, right? And then increase your profit margin. Why not? But everything else, I would imagine you will see on PC at some point. You either have to be patient or you're just going to have to, get a PlayStation if you want to play those games like right away. If you want to wait. If you can't wait, but if you can wait, then just get a PC and just wait.
On the other side of the coin, there aren't a lot of PlayStation only release games. Like next year, they have Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei. Those are the only confirmed 2025 games. They'll probably have something else pop up that'll come out in 2025. But I would think anything that PlayStation's putting out, like Mag said, if it's a multiplayer game or a service game, it's coming out on PC immediately. But those one and done that people call it, like those single player games, those are few and far between on PlayStation right now for their roadmap. So I don't know. It's so funny. We complain about who's multi-plat, who's third party or whatever, and then you take a step back and you look at the industry and you're like, they're all just happy. They're all just making money, and they're just making more
a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like,
and
why would they even care? By the way, did you miss a super chat earlier from Connor Garrity? Did you see it? 23.99 euros.
I did get that one. That was he asked us what 2 games each we were looking forward to.
Oh, sorry. For some reason, I thought you missed that.
No, that's okay.
I got that mixed up in conversation. Sorry, old man moment right there, folks.
I mean, it takes 2 old guys to run the show, and we barely even get that.
It does take 2 old guys.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at Risk It for the Biscuit. He puts girls can't play COD in the chat. Well, why are you playing it? Why are you playing it, Risk It?
Oh,
that blue number. That blue number is a woman. You're a girl.
Oh.
Anyways, carry on.
I think that she's better at COD than Risk It as well. She's pretty good.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, and no trash.
I can't think of anything that Risk It for the Biscuit is good at except for looking really hideous. But yeah, other than that, I can't see him really excelling at anything.
I have your New Year's resolution list already written out, Meg. We'll go over it after the show.
I don't do New Year's resolutions.
Oh, dang it. We got Jason Lewan chats in, looking forward to Avowed in February and enjoying indie right now. Absolutely.
Excellent.
I was putting this footage together that you're watching. What are we at right now? We're on Dragon's Dogma 2. And I brought in all this Avowed footage. And I'm like, wait a minute. Avowed didn't come out. Like, that was just my preview. And I was, before I deleted it from this render that I made, I was looking at the footage. I'm like, gosh, dang, Avowed was so fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Papa Baco, thank you so much for the $50 super chat.
Wow.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. What a way to end the year. And appreciate you for talking trash and having fun and laughs with us. Papa Baco says.
Yes.
Papa Baco says, sending Colt money for giving me the ability to mess with Mag, worth every single penny.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Thank
you don't
you
have
so
to pay money to make fun of me. Look at Risk It for the Biscuit. Yeah, he makes fun of me daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and like he just does it. Yeah, it's fan. He's enjoying himself.
It's a reciprocating thing over here in the chat for sure.
Yeah,
Udana Kazada, thank you so much for being an incredible mod. Sends in his $2 super chat. Says, "Happy birthday, Little Evil Gaming." Happy birthday!
Hey, happy birthday, Little Evil Gaming. Happy birthday. Always welcome to see you in the chat too.
I thought you were gonna say happy little birthday.
Happy little birthday, Evil.
Maybe
I'll just mess up the words a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat, thank you so much for the Australian 5. Says, have a great 2025 to the mods. You do great work here. Thank you so much to Happy Bomb and Yodani. And who else is modding in here? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's add one just for fun. But yeah, we thank you so much for... Yeah.
Can you remove Risk It for the Biscuit and just add anybody else but him? So I don't have to see his highlighted name.
Actually, let's remove everybody from the chat and just leave Risk It and then just see what happens when he just talks to himself. He's like, where'd everybody go?
That's probably what he does after the show. Yeah,
I was
sits in a room, talks to himself.
I was in Renegade Realm podcast, Red Wolf, That Blue Number, an Assassin, and DeMarco. I was in their chat. And I was like, hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, what have you guys been playing lately? Yo, guys, good show. What's up, chat? Hey, Yodani. Nothing, just crickets. I'm like, hello. Hi, I'm watching I'm watching the show. And I text Red Wolf and I'm like, dude, are you seeing my stuff? He goes, no, what are you talking about? Somebody, one of his moderators had like banned me from his chat.
Oh, perfect.
That's awesome. Thing. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not unusual to ban Colteastwood. It's funny. I do a lot of when I do my interactions on Twitter and stuff like that. I get some people once in a while. They'll be like, "Yeah, I tried to tell Colt to go F himself, but he banned me. I don't know what I said." And I'm like, "Did you just read what you said just now?" It's like, "Mag, can you talk to him?" I'm like, "You told him to go F himself. What did you think was gonna happen?" But
yeah,
whatever.
I got one of those last night. Someone asked, I haven't even messaged you yet. He was like, can you tell Meg to unblock me? And I'm like,
what?
Normally I'm like, when somebody asks, I usually unblock them. So I need to, I'll hit you up later about that one.
Just tell me, because sometimes, sometimes it's a mistake, eh? Like,
sure,
so like
same.
sometimes like that's why there might be some people that I might have blocked that weren't a problem or whatever else. Because like for example, Jez had me blocked and he had no idea.
Same.
So and I'm like,
did the same to me.
Yeah, same. And I'm like, what did I say to him? I'm like, I'm like literally gonna like suplex him by his ponytail. And like, what did I do? Right. And then I'm like, I'm just kidding. And anyways, all seriousness. And then he looked at it and he goes like, oh crap, you are blocked. And then he obviously unblocked me. And then I think there was an issue too with Rand at one point. And then I think that we were disconnected at one point, or we stopped following each other. And I'm like, I never stopped following him.
Yeah, some of that is.
And so I went back and sometimes that happens, eh?
Yeah,
like,
sometimes
there'll be people there
Twitter.
that. Yeah, it's sometimes just Twitter acting up and whatever, but yeah. No, yeah, let me know who it is, and then I'll take a look. There's only one person I've blocked in the last like couple of months. Just one person.
Yeah, I think it was somebody that was giving you a hard time because you got so much. Yeah, when you were getting so much crap, and I'm thinking,
oh
yeah. I mean, that happens all the time when you're going through a real rough patch, and somebody makes a joke because they know you're getting rode. And they didn't mean anything by it. They're just kind of like playing along.
Oh, well, then no problem. I don't care about that. Yeah, there's only one guy that's like super toxic lately that I blocked, and I'm like, dude, I've given you 25 chances. You are done. And I'm like, I don't want to hear from you for the rest of your life, period. And I'm like, keep whatever. I don't want to say what else I said, but anyhow, carry on.
Carry on. We will. Jax82, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, will third-party support on Xbox improve? Well, I mean, that depends on what you're talking about, like using what is available to make games run a certain way on console. I kind of think they're at basically what they can do. Third party, as far as games not missing the console, it's going to take a little while. That's out of
our hands.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little
while. That's something that's out of our hands. We don't even know what the future is going to be like for them, but I think that a lot of times that you see any third-party games that do skip Xbox, a lot of those are like the Japanese, Korean, Chinese studios. A lot of them that have a closer relationships with the Japanese branded companies like Nintendo and Sony. So it's a lot easier for them to get their business deals done when they're on the same side of the world and everything else, and probably a lot less red tape. And you know what? I bet you that Sony would probably make it a hell of a lot easier for them to put a game on their console by inadvertently getting an exclusive out of it. Right?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, come over here. We'll help you out. You could borrow 50 guys so you can, get the game past the finish line, this and that. But meanwhile, there's a more nefarious reason for all that. And a lot of that is because, like, look at Black Myth Wukong. Right?
Yeah.
Became essentially a Game of the Year nomination kind of game. People talked about it, whatever. It's not on Xbox. Either a Stellar Blade, and things like that. Those are big games that came out this year. Malibu Jack, I don't even know who you are. He's like, you could block me. I don't give a F. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are. I feel like Thanos.
I'm glad. Yeah, we're glad to have you, Malibu. When you said Malibu Jack, I'm like, that's the greatest username I've ever heard.
Well, it sounds like something Risk It for the Biscuit would call his pet kangaroo. He's like, get over here, Malibu Jack. Stop going into the garden, Malibu Jack.
It's wearing a pink, like, fluffy vest. Yeah. Shout out to Paris in the chat, who says Xbox will need to make their digital store a desirable place to purchase games on PC and mobile to keep third-party games on the platform, which is such a good point, because I wanted to say, if Xbox changes the game where it's going to have to be more like, when you get an Xbox game, it's basically the PC version. When you get developers who are already doing DX11, DX12 games, when you get them where they're just making their game and they make a Steam version, they make a PC version, the Xbox version is just pretty much the same thing, it will remove that friction, because Xbox console is such a small platform in comparison to the PlayStation and the PC, that sometimes developers feel like, is it worth our time and money to put games on the Xbox? And it's not very often. It's 1 or 2 games a year. Sometimes it's a prominent game, and Wukong's not one of them. PlayStation paid to get that game on console. Now, we've covered that many times. Then they didn't specifically make it exclusive, but that game was going to miss console, and they said, what's it going to take? We want this game on PlayStation. they paid the money and Xbox just sat there. So that's where that exclusivity comes from in that respect. But Paris makes a really great point. Until Xbox removes that friction of their XDK, their horrible documentation and certification process, until they can get that streamlined, and they need to, they're going to become one of the de facto premier publishers on all gaming devices eventually. They need to make it so easy to get stuff on their platform. The future is also consoles that act like they could be affiliated with an Xbox, or not affiliated, but a console that is like an Xbox, can play your Xbox games, but is mainly made for PC games. Like, that needs to remove the friction. And that's kind of what Jax82 is talking about, right? Jax82? Yes, Jax82. Danny Patch official said. You got what?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Read it.
Well,
you doing the super chat? No, because someone was mentioning that they didn't get to the super chat, and I realized you haven't got that far down yet. So
yeah, I'm going right now. Danny Patch official, thank you so much for the 2, says everything from PS5 is on PC already. Hyphen Astrobot. Astrobot is not. I don't know if it will.
It doesn't seem like a PC-ish kind of game. I don't know. I mean,
you're literally building a PS5 in the game, right? It would seem weird. You know, like when I'm playing on the PS5 down here and I'm like building a PS5 in the game and I'm getting the PlayStation plastic experience. I guess it doesn't really matter. It will transcend.
Was the first one brought to PC? I don't think so. Was it? No. All right. So that won't be coming, I don't think.
Maybe they just won't even bother.
No, I don't even see the need.
Yeah, maybe they're not asking and PlayStation's not asking them either. You know, maybe they're not thinking about it.
However, hold on. There's a caveat. The caveat is they just won Game of the Year.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might actually change the conversation, right? Because the first Astrobot was essentially just a package, was a pack-in with the console, right? When you bought the PS5, it was kind of like Duck Hunt in the first Mario Brothers, right, with the NES. Like, it just came packaged with the deal. So did the other one. But now, this conversation might be slightly changed because now this thing won Game of the Year. They might be rethinking that and saying, hey, you know what? Let's package it and sell it as, coming to PC, the 2024 Game of the Year, Astrobot, whatever, and be able to squeeze out maybe another 500,000 copies out of it. I said, by putting it on Steam or whatever. So you never know. You never know. So that Danny Passion, that might be a caveat that we might have to think about, that they might actually give it a second look. But either way, we will find out in the near future. Carry on, my friend.
Yeah, I agree. I think it probably just won't come to PC. They really don't need it to. It does seem like it's an advertisement for the PlayStation console. And it's another reason why they don't need to go to PC right away. Like, their consoles are still selling and they're not losing money like Xbox is. I had a conversation with someone who talks to Xbox people often. I'm like, are they really still losing money on selling Series X and S? Absolutely, they said. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would not want to sell them if I was losing money. Imagine that was your business. And every time a Target, Walmart, Amazon, whatever sold one of your consoles, you're like, well, there goes $50. Like, that would add up. Yeah. Phase 23, Brooklyn, New York. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. You're going to have to send a little more if you want me to answer that question. Thanks for playing. I was talking to one of my buddies, Fonz, from Fonz Gaming from GameStop Live, and he goes, Phase 23 sends me like $20 to talk about how amazing the PlayStation 5 Pro is. And I'm like, well, he's better send me $20 and then I'll talk to him. I'm just kidding. No, I'll read your super chat. I'm just joking with you. We've been razzing each other for like the better part of 6 years. He says, Cole, are you going to talk about power again? Yeah. PC, console PC hybrid power, handheld power. Yeah, because these things matter. This is how you enjoy your games. When games are capable of running, and hardware is capable of running incredible games, it's fun to talk about. Am I going to talk about the power differential between Xbox and PlayStation anymore? I mean, not really. I stopped doing that in 2021 or 2020. Maybe it's 20. No, it's pretty much 2020, but it's such a dicey discussion when the PS5 Pro is barely doing better than the Series X right now. I mean, you're getting sharper looking games and you're getting a 10%, 8% boost in performance for $300 extra. I don't know. At this point, it's just like kicking a dead horse over and over and saying, do something. If you bought a new console, or if you have an S or whatever, and your games are great, then that's great. And
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
I'll just end the sentence that I made a lot of content in 2020 when Xbox said, this is what we're making, and PlayStation said, this is what they're making. And I even talked in the past how powerful the PS5 was going to be and how it'd be cheaper and everything. And I mean, we've long moved past that. We're in the mid-generation now. What were you going to say, Mag?
No, I was just gonna piggyback off that, and I was just gonna say, like, really, at the end, it doesn't matter. Like, I got a PS5 Pro. I'm utilizing it now for the best that it's going to be for whatever it is for the rest of the gen, and then it's going to have a great trade-in value for a PS6 when I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll you know what I mean? So I use it to like piggyback off the better hardware, as I always do. Like, I get a new phone every 2 years. Just got a new one now. You know what I mean? And I just always kind of incrementally upgrade my hardware. And but the thing is, though, at the end, it really doesn't matter, because for example, down here, where in my arcade, I have a Series S, not the Series X. The Series X is not down here, and I played Indy Jones down here at 60 FPS and had a great time playing it, whatever, on my Series S. So in the end, it really didn't matter as long as I had great quality software for me to enjoy.
I heard it was soft on the S, but it still was a great looking game on the 300.
I had no problems. I had no problems playing it. And I played about 40 or 50% of the time that I've been putting into Indy. I've been playing it on the S down here. So it hasn't been an issue. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I said a million times before, it's compelling software is more important than anything else. But
absolutely,
the power helps. The power helps, obviously. But I mean, you can have a $4,000 PC. If you got crappy games to play on a $4,000 PC, you're still playing crappy games.
Yeah,
so
and I've learned
it doesn't make a difference.
And I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. I talked about power and resolution and frame rate and all, and I even talked a little bit about teraflops. But early on in this generation, I made fun of the teraflop thing. So I learned last generation that teraflops aren't a good measurement. But what's funny about all that, referring to 2020, 2021, talking about hardware and power, Digital Foundry has helped us understand that, along with tons of developers, that pixel count is not going to be a relevant discussion anymore. Almost everything is using upscaling, and it's using checkerboarding.
They're finding ways.
Yeah, like the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to get revealed in a month or 2 or 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah.
And that thing is going to be using NVIDIA DLSS. It's going to be able to run some games that it wouldn't have run before on a Nintendo Switch. Right. DLSS is going to make games be actually possible, and that's really what matters the most. And people need to understand that. So
I disappeared from the camera for a minute there because I just saw you, Donnie Kazada's super chat for $2. Did you catch that one?
Hold on.
It was lost in the mix somewhere, and it said,
I read one of his about Mag's camera. Yeah. Oh, I didn't read that one.
No, you didn't.
Thank you. I'd already read it 3 times as we were doing the show here. He says, you know what? I think I read his name and never actually read the chat. That's what happened. Is I was talking about mods, and then he says Mag's camera is so bright he looks like Voldemort.
Yeah, raise your wand, Potter. Severus, please come here.
Potter,
do you know about the boy?
You got a bright light on your face, Potter. Potter.
I do not have a bright light on me, Lucius. Now bring me your wand. Listen, I just realized, because I got 3 lights going now. I got the full professional studio going on down here.
Awesome.
So I got 1 light, 2 light, and then I've got another floodlight that's up here that a lot of the the online porn stars like to use. So I borrowed one from one of them. Anyways, in all seriousness, I have that one, but the other one, which is the secondary lighting, which is here, I didn't realize that I had the reflector on way too high, and it was shining too hard on my face. So when Donnie said that, I looked over. I'm like, oh, I do look a little bit too white. So I just toned it down a little bit. But I'm not a minion. This is my natural color at this point.
Looking
crispy. At this point, this is my natural color. Yeah. So sorry, I just had it turn out too high. Carry on.
It's a fine line. I'm not as close to my lights as you are. Shout out to Lotus Esprit, shows up in the chat, says hola. Thank you. Let me get through these supers. I want to get back to our games we're talking about. Beer Finale says, when are Mag and Riskit going to 1v1 on Black Ops? I'm still here waiting.
What? So what? I'm going to be playing on a Tuesday. For him, it's going to be a Thursday? How the hell are we going to coordinate that? The guy lives in a different timeline, for Christ's sake. It's like the multiverse when I'm dealing with Australians. It's like a whole different situation. Yeah. A lot of excuses. What? No, absolutely not. Of course I'm going to 1v1 that scumbag. We should do it. We should do it for charity one day.
Yeah, you should. What charity would it be?
I don't know. The MAG charity for I don't know. Never mind.
For snacks.
I'm just going to shut up.
Amish,
Oh, speaking of a scumbag, he's got a super chat.
Yeah, I see it. With a correction, I'll get it right this first time. Michelle, thank you so much for the NOK 20, which I think is Norwegian.
Norwegian krona?
Currency.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I like to learn this crap for once in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Norwegian krona, yeah.
Krone?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. They said less than 3% of PS5 owners bought Astrobot. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a platformer. It's not a big name like Mario, but guess what? I think that 3% made them a hefty profit already. So
they did make a lot of money because it's a small studio, small overhead, and it was a small production cost for the game. So they did report excellent revenue on the game. So that's good for them. But yeah, that's the thing is, if you think about it, you get a platformer like that at 3%, let's say, right? Then you get like a big game like God of War, for example, and the same thing. They only sell to like 12% of the owners of the console.
And
maybe
that's like
10%.
4 or 5 times the cost of making the game. And shame on anybody who didn't get a chance to play something like Astrobot, Game of the Year, like just a really great game.
Oh, look I was just talking to someone the other day, posted on Twitter, saying I just finished Indy Jones, rolled credits on it.
Yeah.
And he said on it, he goes, I was sad to see that there was only 5%.
Oh yeah.
Of the achievement. The achievement to finish the game was only completed by 5% of players. So, and that was a game, and that was available on a subscription service, right? So, I think when it comes to those kind of games, those games, as we talked about it last week, a lot of them are basically just there to lure you into the ecosystem to keep you in the store. I'm not going to go back in that conversation. We've already dealt with that last week. However, that is essentially what it all boils down to. And even like the Sony heads talked about that last gen. They said, they said, what was it? 6 out of 10 of their games fail. And it says if only like 2 out of the 10, and 2 of them might do okay, and if 2 of them are successful, that's all that matters to us because it brings all those people into the ecosystem to buy the console. Which, of course, when they start buying third-party content and skins for Fortnite and everything else, they're buying it on the PlayStation Store because they bought the PlayStation. So that is their end goal. So even at 3%, they're happy with that because they got people in there and the name is out there. And at the end of the day, 85% of people, or 83% of the people that are playing Call of Duty were playing it on PlayStation. So, like, for them, getting them into that ecosystem is all that matters. But
yeah, I mean, if there's 100 games,
if
there's 100 games that come out in the year, only 3 or 4 like have juggernaut big, player counts and big sales numbers that like transcend the break records or whatever, or even sell like, holy crap, this many people played this game. It's just kind of the reality of not every game is for everyone. Stardew Valley has 41 million people who bought the game.
Jesus.
And I've tried to play it. It's not my kind of thing, but it's a, like we talk about Animal Crossing, there are games that are just brilliant, but they're not for a chunk of different people. I look at my channel demographics and 97% of my channel demographics are male. So it's just how it goes.
I saw, speaking of like, get back again, sorry, but Tucker knock it off. He's like magged hopping his pony to tell his indie did bad. It didn't do bad. It's just that the people didn't finish the game. A lot of people didn't finish the game.
A lot of people didn't play it either.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you know what it did do, and what it does do is that if it attracts even X amount of people, let's say, into Game Pass or into whatever, into the Xbox ecosystem, that's all that matters to Microsoft anyway. Their metrics are not measured the same way that we would look at it. They look at it as, okay, we got an extra whatever I'll just make up a number, 1 million, an extra 1 million people now came to the console because of Indy Jones. Okay, I'm just making up a number.
Sure.
Don't take this seriously. But 1 million people, all right? To them, that's a victory. Yeah, right. Yeah, clip this. Yeah, I feel like what's his name, Dark Helmet from Spaceballs.
Astro Cyborg's like, and record it.
Yeah, and record.
Actually, the symbiotic relationship to the endoplasmic reticulum. Yeah.
Don't worry, Astro Cyborg. I don't have you blocked. Remember, I just have you muted. But anyways, I told them that last time we talked. It was kind of funny. Anyways, the thing is, in their minds, they got 1 million people in the Xbox store. That's all they care about.
Yeah, they don't.
Because the next time they play Call of Duty, the next time they play Fortnite, because these are all cross-platform games, they're hoping that you're going to buy the skin on their system or whatever, because that's where they make their billions from. That's all, you know what I mean? Why do you think they ended up buying a mobile company? They didn't care about ABK. It was not about anything else outside of Call of Duty and outside of Candy Crush. Everything else is just it's all superfluous to them outside of those two.
I love that word.
You know, those are the money makers. It's a great name, a great word, isn't it?
I've never used that word in a video, and I'm going to try and get that shoehorned in.
I think. Do you have a video coming out tomorrow? You said you're working on one
but
this
it's
week?
too late for that. But
I think you can sneak in a superfluous, maybe somewhere halfway through, and even if it doesn't make sense.
So I mean, it's already uploaded, but thank you, Mag.
Oh crap! I was gonna say just edit the word in there. So be like, and I think 2025, blah blah blah, superfluous. And anyway, just like slip the word.
It doesn't even make sense. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this salad is superfluous. Risky.
I hope that answered your question. Oh
yeah, no, that does. That is. Thank you, Mag. I don't even remember what the question was. Let me look up there. Oh. We were talking about Astrobot sales. I should also add in here, one of the things we were going to talk about was that Indiana Jones was rumored to be greenlit from LucasArts and Disney after the success of Indiana Jones. Now keep in mind that Mag illustrated very well. Oh, he's down here. Mag illustrated really well that Indiana Jones didn't have huge sales numbers or huge player bases at all, but it was still really successful because Microsoft and Xbox look at, okay, we got Game Pass increase, we got console user increase, we got sales on PC. So all this stuff happens and it's already a success. So the funny thing about Disney is that they look at Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It rated really well. People really liked it. It was played across different platforms. And they're like, wow, it did a lot better in our Star Wars shows. Greenlight another one is the joke. Right. But yeah, apparently it's ready to go. And Jez Corden has kind of hinted that Machine Games is probably going to, I'm going to fill in his words here that he didn't say, but
I'll say it, but you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You say it. Cause
no, say what say what you're going to say.
Machine Games probably going to make an indie game, before higher priority than they do the next Wolfenstein, that they'll probably get that all gathered first. Another Indiana Jones game. Like, they're really happy about the setting and they like that it's like the good part of Indiana Jones, because the movies have we've talked about that last week. So like, you're in the sweet spot. We like this and we're going to green light the next thing. What were you going to say?
If you want an answer, but what's going on over there, is that I could tell you this, is that I know that Howard and Disney had previously had an agreement for a 3-picture deal, a 3-game deal, including DLCs. In addition to DLCs. That doesn't mean that every single game will have a DLC, because there was a previous thought that maybe they'd say, okay, well, they got the one game, they got the main game out now, and then they've got the DLC coming. Right, which I'm not going to give the title to, so I don't spoil it for anybody who hasn't finished the game. And then the idea was to say, well, how do you turn it around quicker than having to do a full production again? Mm-hmm. I mean, they already have the assets in there now. Now you could just make it prettier, make it perform better, but you could change locales and whatever else. You've got the foundation built, right? But the thing is, how do you turn it around quicker? The only other way to do that is to do it in DLC chunks, right? Like a season, like updates to, like, let's say Destiny 2 or games like that.
And there is DLC in the plan for Great Circle.
Right. However, I'm mistaken. My understanding now is that it's actually a 3-game deal. They have. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but there are script outlines already done for all 3, have been turned in. They've already got the outline for a trilogy done, and it's already been worked on with Disney. Like I said, an arrangement with Lucasfilm, Disney, and Todd Howard. Now, that being the case, the thing is, it would actually be wise for Disney to do this, because they're like, okay, well, it's reaching some kind of success and popularity, whereas the last movie did not do well. I think it lost like $200 million. Because they had to basically film the movie twice, because they just kept messing around with the script, and they had to keep reshooting and reshooting and reshooting. And then it ended up ballooning and costing them a fortune. So, and then of course basically cost them the shirts off their backs. However, you look at a game like this, and it seems to be like even on a public level, it's very successful, very well received by the public and the critics. I just saw that SkillUp, who's one of my favorite reviewers out there, regardless of how people think about him, SkillUp released a video today saying, I strongly recommend Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So that is a huge endorsement as well when you got a man who's got 1 million subscribers also telling you to play this game. That's going to give it a boost, right? And then we had Piscatella over on Blue Sky. Sorry.
On the safe space, Blue Sky.
Yeah, he had to be on the safe space.
Yeah, somebody asked me, like, why aren't you over on Blue Sky? Is it better? I'm like,
Like, and I can listen to people crying all day. Anyways, so Piscatella was talking about how the week that it came out, it was the second best selling next to, funny enough, another Xbox first party studio, Call of Duty. So I'm like, well, that's actually quite successful. So, I don't want people twisting my words around saying, oh, I'm saying Indiana Jones was a failure. I'm not at all. It actually, I think, in a different way, I think it's successful in a different way because like I said, the metrics are different now because you have the majority of people playing it on a subscription service. So we can't measure it the same way of, oh, it only sold 1 million. It's a failure. Well, we don't have to go back into the business dealings. I've already talked about that for a lot of 2024. But, needless to say is that it doesn't measure the same way that we've always known that, you know what I mean? It's not the same metrics. So that being we have to walk away from that. That's the deal with Indy Jones. So it looks like they got a trilogy in the works. Scripts and script treatments have been turned in. And this has all been worked out with Disney and Lucasfilm already. So obviously they are excited for it. And the reason why I was bringing it up again, Disney would move forward with this and ask for more is because it's getting a positive critical reception. Because then now they can look at it and say, hey, people actually are liking this. Do we reboot in 5 years with a different actor? And then just move forward and start a new thing. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in the end of the day, come on, man. James Bond, everything else. If it's good,
absolutely.
It's good.
Absolutely. Every James Bond has been as good or better than, well, people probably wouldn't agree with that. But I mean, the James Bonds have been great as we've gone through the years. I think everybody loves all of them. Now, Jez Corden did correct Boomstick, Mr. Boomstick, and say that he never said there was a trilogy. It sounds like Jez is only hearing that they're ready for the next Indiana Jones game to be built.
Not finished or fully written.
Yeah,
but deals are different. Like deals are different than an actual, saying like, oh, they got a trilogy ready to go. No, they don't.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean that the treatments aren't sent in for a trilogy already mapped out, which of course Disney approved.
My opinion, from a couple people I talked to, is that they're definitely going to be more Indiana Jones, but are there 2 more Indiana Jones greenlit? I don't know. Maybe there is.
No. It may not be, but a deal is different. Signing a deal is also, there are also stipulations put in there, right? They could for example,
like your approval for the use of the franchise. That's
what I'm saying.
Okay.
So sorry, it's hard to describe everything that I'm trying. Like for example, you can sign a deal, but in that deal there are stipulations involved. Where it's saying, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to greenlight Toy Story 5, 6, and 7, and I need script treatments for those. Which this is what they do all the time, right? Sure. They already had, like for example, the Avengers. Like now they've moved on to Avengers. They got rid of the 2 ones with what's his face there, the guy that got arrested. I can't remember his name. The Kang the Conqueror, whatever his name was. They had the Kang Dynasty and something else going on. Those were signed deals with scripts, but there's stipulations involved with that. And with the stipulations we could pull that back at any time and say, you know what? We're going to move in a different direction, but we're giving you the go ahead as long as you guys follow A, B, and C and make X, Y, and Z in terms of dollars and whatever else. And of course, to them, it has to make sense, every pun intended. So when you look at things like that, now all of a sudden, look what they did. They just greenlit 3 more Avengers movies, 2 announced, 1 not announced. And those are also based on stipulations, based on the success, the popularity, and of course the bottom line when it comes to the first one. And then it works like that. The Batman 2 has not been greenlit, no matter what anybody says. I know as a fact it hasn't. They just keep pushing it. You know how I knew? I told everybody this last year and the year before. I said, I know the guy who works on it. And he even said, he goes, they kept pushing it. And then when James Gunn came in, Gunn said, push it another year because I'm releasing the Bold and the Beautiful, whatever the hell it's going to be called, the Bold and the Brave Batman movie, right? No, I swear to God, dude, that's what it's called. I'm not kidding. The Bold and the Brave. So then guess what just happened the other day? What I've been telling everybody since last year, which my people from Hollywood told me, they're like, by the way, they're going to push the Batman another year. And then guess what they announced last week? The Batman 2's been pushed to late 2027. Yeah. And I'm like, guys, do you not see what's happening here? Green lights don't always mean go. Green lights mean you have the option to do it until we change course. So as it stands, they have treatments for 3 games, including the one that's already released and 2 unreleased. And I know this.
Okay. More Indiana Jones is the answer on that long description.
You know what I think it's going to wait for? I think you know what else is going to be a big stipulation in this? This is why I think it's going to actually be beneficial for Xbox to release quality games, is I think a lot of it is going to lean on the sales of PlayStation 5. Because now they're like, okay, it's out on PC, it's out on Game Pass, it's out on Xbox, we've done the business here. Let's see how the next 5-6 months go and see how the sales go. Maybe we give another little marketing push as more reviewers and more people start playing it. Then they're going to see how they're going to do a big marketing push for PS5, and then going to see the sales there. If the sales do well there, you watch how fast those other 2 are in production.
Yeah, unfortunately, Indiana Jones: The Great Circle on PS5 is going to come out in the spring of 2025 when
there's a lot of stuff coming out.
It's going to be really tough. But I mean, it's a game you probably shouldn't miss. Risk it for the biscuit. Thank you so much for the $3 Australian. Says, Meg, where's the correction? Meg, how do you play a boat? A boot. He's making fun of your accent.
I don't have an accent.
He doesn't even say a boot.
I don't say a boot. I'm not a newfie, for crying out loud. I'm Italian. I mean, I'm Canadian. I was born here, but I'm Italian by heritage. I don't walk around and be like, hey, we got near the boat, eh? Oh, the boat, near the boat, they about to go down the boat on the roof. Oh, you see that dog there up on the roof? Yeah, dude, you go up to like northern, like you drive like 16 hours north of here, or you go to Newfoundland, that they all talk like that.
Yeah,
you know, I like stumbling down the road out of a pub in like St. John's, Newfoundland, and then like even the cops were laughing at me. I swear to God, because I was walking downhill and I can't even do it. I was stumbling down the hill, and the cops were following me in a cruiser, making fun of me. They're going, hey, look at you, eh? Stumbling downhill. Oh, you better get back down on down, eh? Oh, and they're laughing. I'm like going, first of all, I'm super drunk. I don't know what the hell's going on, and I'm like, were that just the Muppets in the car talking to me? And I look over and I'm like, no, those are police officers laughing at me. That's how they talk. We don't talk like that everywhere, Risk It. Anyways, carry on.
Oh my gosh. Lotus is free. Thank you so much for gifting 10 channel memberships. Appreciate you. If you got a channel membership tonight, after the show, you can watch my video that goes up tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific. Appreciate all of you. Second City Saint with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Second City Saint. Says, boy, oh boy, Cole, I sure hope my new $700 console games look clearer than the Series X. Well, some of them will. A lot of the games will look clearer on the PS5 Pro because of that GPU. Amish Al, thank you so much for another NOK20. Says, and that's the reason why Sony's still going to push games as a service. Yes, today they announced that they're going to have more games as a service titles, which is a good thing because they don't have a lot of that single player AAA blockbuster games in the roadmap.
You know, though they haven't announced a whole lot. I know they have plenty of games coming, but they're holding off for a reason. I'm starting to wonder, and I was actually thinking about that earlier today. They're not right now. I think they're hanging on to a lot of those titles when Xbox really starts to rev the engine. And now what I'm saying is they've been holding that in hand, like slowly but surely. I think I'm like, all right, release the Pro. Do this, do that, whatever. Announce one here, announce one there, keep people on the hook, get a couple of those third-party deals, keep it, because they smashed 2024. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
They smashed it. And they didn't really have to do anything. They basically made some deals and released one first-party game. And they just sat back and just counted them. What?
Was it Spider-Man 2 in 24 or was that 23?
No, dude, that was 20. That was no. That was.
I mean, they had MLB, which people don't count, but it is their first party game, and then they had
Astro
Divers and Astro Divers. Yeah,
So Astro Divers. So you know what I mean. So I think
don't Google that video, by the way.
Yeah, don't do that because they have that market dominance, and they have that. You know what I mean? They have the the mind share.
Yeah.
They don't really have to. They look at how much money they made off Call of Duty, for Christ's sake. 80-something% were playing on PlayStation. They didn't have to do anything, and they didn't even have the marketing rights this year. So I think they're hanging on to those games for when Xbox goes, by the way, here we go, bang, 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 and they start firing their 6 shooters in the saloon, and like here comes Avowed, here comes Doom, here comes whatever, Fable, here comes South of Midnight, here comes another Call of Duty, bang, 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 bang. And then PlayStation goes, oh, crap, okay, all right, now it's time to get serious. All right, let's get it ready, guys. Let's announce 4 big titles and bang off the, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever. I think they're holding off. I think they're rope-a-doping, waiting for Xbox, because they know Xbox has got a ton of stuff coming.
I have a different take on that.
I don't know. That's just a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah. And this one's my thought. I think that PlayStation knows they have games. They just, every 3 or 4 months, they're going to do a state of play that actually has a couple of big reveals or one big reveal. And if they do, let's say they do 4 state of plays that are like really memorable, that's when they'll showcase their games. It's just hard to believe, Mag, that if sometime in early 2025, they'll do a state of play, and here's a game that they haven't talked about that's coming out in 2025. I don't see that happening. I don't see them saying, let's say March of 2025, they have a big state of play, and at the end of the state of play, they've got their one last thing is a big reveal for a game, and it's coming out in 2025. I think I said that twice for a reason. 2025 is set with Death Stranding, maybe Fair Games, maybe Marathon, Ghost of Yotei, and something else. Plus, MLB. That's still a really good year, but we don't sit here and argue about this. Mag just showed you guys. Xbox is killing it next year. So is PlayStation. Next year is actually going to be Nintendo's
Isn't that
year.
Just awesome?
Isn't
that just awesome for gamers?
Yeah, like Nintendo's going to kill it, Mag, because Nintendo is in like March of 2025. Nintendo's going to reveal the Switch 2. Same thing, bigger, a little bit more powerful. Right. They're going to have like Mario Kart 9. They're going to have some new, a couple of new games. They're going to have it's going to be a big moment for Nintendo. Xbox is going to be banging on all those cylinders. PlayStation is going to be kicking butt. And I think there's going to be less whining and complaining because we'll be busy playing games. It's going to be great. Let me read these supers. They're piling up. We got Ace Out Gaming. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I saw a video from Dreamcast Guy is saying that Xbox is really dead. Is it true, Colt and Meg? I'm concerned. Laugh out loud, crying, laughing, crying emojis. Dreamcast Guy doesn't really mean it, but the console, in the way Dreamcast looks at it, the Xbox console is dead to him, but they're still selling them. Like the Series X and S are still going up. Somehow. Why would you buy an Xbox console when Xbox has told you for 10 years you don't need one? It's definitely not dying, and there's so much more to gaming right now than plastic. Speaking of plastic, we got Phase 23 Brooklyn, New York with a super chat, $20 super chat from our good friend Phase 23 Brooklyn, New York, for coming all the way in from Brooklyn on the east side of the Bay radio voice.
That's it. He's gone. He's gone. He's been possessed. The power of Christ compels you.
Tell you a little bit about it. Yeah, that's the radio voice. There's a reason why. That was foreshadowing, by the way. Phase 23, thank you so much for the 20. Says, games not on PC. Stellar Blade. He spelled it wrong. Astrobot. Bloodborne. Well, if you want to dig back 11 years, all right. Demon Souls. No, not on PC. Gran Turismo 7. Well, I don't know why they don't. Rise of the Ronin. Why isn't that game on PC, etc.? Yeah, there you go. They've put out 30 games this generation, and he just named 5 of them that aren't on PC. Awesome. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. But I mean, that's the reality, that PlayStation says we'll go wherever there's compute. They will definitely be on a Steam, Lenovo, or Valve style, Samsung, Dell console PC hybrid that people might buy. And if I buy one of those, I'll be able to play PlayStation games on an Xbox controller. If I want. Maybe I'll play it on a DualSense 5. Like, the industry's changing. Grandmaster Flapjacks, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, Colt, I've been watching your videos since before you were on camera. Love the content. You have a voice for radio. I can't wait for Avowed. I can't wait either. And I appreciate you with the voice for radio thing. I worked with, my coworker did voiceovers for videos at my job. And I was like, how do you do it? Because like when I would read a script, I sounded ridiculous. He's like, just enunciate, give every word its due. And eventually, Meg, I've been getting this thing lately on my past couple of videos where a few people have commented that, why am I using an AI voice in my videos? And it's come to this in 2020s where people are so used to this kind of YouTuber. What's going on? Yeah. Oh, so I'm playing this game, right? Bro, no. And I don't come from that era. I like to speak and enunciate. And sometimes I just over enunciate a word because when you're not on camera, most of my videos, it's just me on the mic. You got to punch through the mix and people have to be able to understand you. Also, there are multiple countries of people who know a little bit of English or a lot of English who watch my videos. And I've had some comments more than I get the AI comment that they can understand me because the way I speak. It helps. But I appreciate that, Grandmaster Flapjacks. My good friend Game Seeker with the Canadian $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Left him hanging last night. We're going to hang out. I played a little bit of Fallout 76, Game Seeker, so I am ready to go back in. Game's brilliant. He says, how about that South of Midnight combat? The audio attached to it is amazing. Will the scope of this game be bigger than we thought? I don't know, but I'm thinking it might be semi-open world. I don't know if it'll be connected or if you'll just like load into different locations. But I think South of Midnight is coming in the next couple months. I can't imagine them waiting until the late into the spring. I don't know. That's just me. One more.
They got something else coming out in March. I mean, you got Avowed in February. They got something else coming out in March, and then my presumption is that Doom will be the next release. That will be somewhere between April and May.
Same.
And then you'll see South of Midnight. So I think South of Midnight will drop somewhere between June and July.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm just assuming earlier.
But you want to give Doom a little breathing space because it's a big game too. So I would actually I think June, July would be the better option. Plus, you got to also remember, you can't jam pack these games all into one area. You're trying to keep people subscribed to a service on top of selling the product, right? And I understand that Game Pass is no longer their business focus. The sooner everybody comes to grips with that, the better for your mental health. But the thing is, it's there. And so you still don't want to cannibalize the situation by releasing games too close together. You'd want to do it months apart so that you keep people subscribed for longer, right?
You want something every month for sure. And they're definitely not grabbing big third-party games outside of Sniper, which we'll talk about later. But
right now, why do you think like Disney Plus and Paramount Plus and everything, they release a new season of Yellowstone halfway through a month, and you're like, that seems weird. No, it's not weird at all, because you know what they just made you do? They made you buy 3 months of subscriptions for 8 episodes because they put it in the middle of the month.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they maximize the fact that you just paid for 3 months of subscription as opposed to 8 episodes, 2 months. Right? They want you to do it in 3, so they move it closer to the other day. The Game Pass is going to be no different. They're going to give these games a little bit of time so that you've already subscribed for a month, maybe into the next month, and then you release the game the next month. So now you got someone playing 2 games, but it's going to take you 3 or 4 months worth of subscriptions to be able to access all those properly and finish the games, assuming that you're going there to roll credits on them. So
I wonder if they look at the average play time of like, if a game's 20 hours, how long does the average gamer or consumer spend actually getting through that 20 hours?
Dude,
I'm sure it's much longer than normal.
You could do it just by looking at the achievements.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You could do it by looking at the achievements, which I do. You can go into whatever it is, Xbox or PlayStation. You could go in there and you could see the percentages of how many people completed X amount of achievements or trophies, and you could look at it and you could say, okay, the numbers dwindle. It starts 55% got through the first level, then it goes down to 40, 30, 20, whatever. And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, wow, so people didn't even get to level 5. The game is a 10-hour game. There's 10 levels. Well, that shows that the average gamer is somewhere between 5 and 7 hours of playtime of this game. Of course, their metrics are obviously much more detailed. I'm just saying for us, we could do it on a rough estimate. So it's kind of interesting that you could do that if you want to. I do that because I'd like to see.
And we're going to talk about the 2025 schedule because it's really crazy. Will Broke Boy Lewis with the $2 super chat says, next Indiana Jones game is Indy meets Lara Croft. That'll be amazing. I think we need more mashups in gaming. Like, I would love that.
What, like a multiverse? Indiana Jones and the Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, absolutely.
And have him have Indy, Lara Croft and Nathan Drake all bump into each other like Spider-Man No Way Home.
I would,
and all three of them go on a mad adventure together. I'm in.
I would love that. I was talking about a gaming account asked what was your favorite game in 2024, and they had Helldivers, Stellar Blade, Astrobot, and Call of Duty Black Ops or something. I'm like, I know a lot of people are going to say this, so I said Indiana Jones. And a couple people attacked me for saying Indiana Jones because they said, what is your favorite game in 2024? And I just put up a picture of Indiana Jones and said Indiana Jones. And one guy was like, Uncharted 4 better. And he made a meme of, oh, let me pause this. Crap, it's already going. It's so funny. Look at that. Let me, sorry. We'll talk about those games in just a second. Anyway, but this guy's a troll. Who cares? All right, let me talk about what we're going to say. 2025 is going to be fantastic. Am I on track what I was saying? Yes. Okay. Let me put it down a timestamp here. 2024 was great, but 2025 is literally insane. And tomorrow's video is going to outline every game with gameplay and an understanding of what these games are. And I will go back here and hit play now. Mag already said the first anticipated game is Grand Theft Auto 6. We didn't even go through the list of 2024 games and say how they were, but I think we covered a lot of them in the
only one I didn't cover was Black Ops 6. I loved it.
Yeah. There's a lot there. We just saw Grand Theft Auto 6. One of the other games is coming out, and I think February or March is Yakuza Like a Pirate. And I cannot get into these games, but gosh dang it, does Yakuza Like a Pirate look so fun? I don't know. Are you seeing this, Meg? I don't know if it keeps up.
No, I saw it. I'm not a Yakuza fan. I really tried to get into those games because so many people talk about them, and I'm like, all right, because I know that Game Pass has offered a few of them here and there in the service, and I'm like, you know what? It's there. Let me just download it, give it a shot. Let me see what this is all about. And I just can't do it. I just can't do it. It's just not my jam at all. And I'm just like, I really want to have fun with this, but I struggle with the controls. I struggle with the map. The map is backwards. When you press up, you go down. When you go down, you go up. It's like the map is upside down. Like, I'm just like, oh God, this is just, no. This is not for me. It's just, they're funny. They're
look
ridiculous.
At that combat, though. Look at that.
Yeah, they're over the top. It's silly. It's ridiculous. It's crazy, but it's just not for me. So it's fine, and that's fine. Listen, man, like Boom always says, not every game is for every gamer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just not my jam. So it's not even on my radar. But that's fine. If you're looking forward to it, God bless. Enjoy.
And he's got the whole Black Flag thing going on, and it's just so colorful. I just kind of go into this one, Mag, thinking, hopefully this is the one that wins me over. Like, it would be the best thing for me to get to buy this game and fall in love with it. Like that would be the best case scenario, right?
Funny enough, I did hear rumblings that the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is coming out in 25. So I know this is kind of like the goofy alternative to it, and it's kind of more comedy than anything else. But you know what? Take all my money for the Black Flag remake, because
I think that is a thing for 25, right?
No, I know it is a thing. I know it's a thing.
I'll be all over it.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if it's 25, but I hear it's 25, and I'm like, take all my money.
Same.
You want to give me a pirate game? That's the one I want, because that game was absolutely stellar.
Okay.
But anyways,
sorry, I'm excited for that. I mean, we'll cover it, but this is...
Fuck you. Sorry, he just goes, Mag, turn your controller upside down, problem solved. Can you...
Like Jim Ryan? Jim Ryan's
Can you imagine? Yeah, just like, this game plays perfectly.
Yeah,
that was good, Farky. Thank you for the laugh.
The other game that we covered earlier was the Oblivion remake. Apparently it is a full remake. It's not just a port. I'm not super confident that it's going to look incredible or feel super modern. They're probably going to do some small things to make it modern. I don't really know a lot about this game.
Right.
But apparently it's a thing, like we said, probably in the summer. So
yeah.
I don't think
I keep hearing June 2025.
Okay. I mean, I haven't heard anything, but when Mag says June, I'm like, that makes sense. Like, that doesn't surprise me.
That's what came across my plate, and it was. Anyway, I won't say anything more. Just carry on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just told earlier, or maybe a month ago, that someone just. No, I don't. You know what? I retract that. I don't want to say I was told. I was talking to somebody who knows things because I don't know anything, and they're like, "Yeah, it's real." And I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, we know it's real. Yeah.
Yeah. It's which is weird because the Fallout 3 rumor was right alongside it. I think the Fallout 3 remake completely got scrapped. Next game is Exodus.
Yep.
What's that? Do you want to say something there?
No. I was just gonna say, a lot of times when you hear something, especially you and I, and other people that are very close to what's actually happening, when we hear something and report it, it may not actually happen because you'll hear something in the earliest stages. May just be like, yeah, you know what? We're not going to bother with this. It's just not going to work out, or it's not. Things get scrapped all the time. 99% of games that are developed don't even make it to final production.
I can't tell you
what I mean. So
I can't tell you how many cool games I've seen at PAX that have still never seen the light of day in 3 or 4 years.
Never see the light of day, and that's just the reality.
It sucks.
So like when people go, "You're a liar," no, we're not lying. It's just we see things so far in advance that sometimes they go, you know what, forget it, not worth the time and trouble. Pull the resources off of it. We could use the resources for something else. Yep. So that's just the reality of creating art. That basically at the end of the day. Carry on. Exodus.
Chris,
I don't even know what the hell it is.
I'll tell you. Chris, for the $5 super chat, thank you so much, says, I've seen a couple people say Gears E-Day is possible for 25. Seems like a long shot to me. What do you guys think? Hold on, Chris. No. We will answer, and I will refer back to you.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let me go back here and hit play. Sorry to have it on pause, but some of these are pretty short. So, Exodus is made by the team that made the Mass Effect trilogy. They all left, and this is where they are. It's a more mature, action-packed, mature sci-fi action-adventure game. You play as a Paul Atreides meets Indiana Jones sci-fi character named June. You can be male or female, hence the name June, which can be used interchangeably. The weird thing is you fight some gigantic gorilla or grizzly bear in the clip, but
what is happening here? It sounds like an acid fever dream.
Yeah, you'll see. It's cool. Kind of looks like Andromeda. Kind of looks like Anthem. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Some of this stuff looks a little bit hokey to me. You got a grappling hook, but people are really excited about it. And if you capture the magic of the original Mass Effect, then
that's pretty. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. Listen, Bledsoe 45 ABC. Never trust a 60-year-old man in a beanie. First of all, I'm 49, and second of all, joke's on you. Watch this.
Oh crap! I just moved the cameras, and he goes right to the hat.
It wasn't a beanie. It was a hat the whole time.
Oh, it was backwards.
Yeah, I just had it backwards because it was
I liked it backwards.
A little easier.
Put it backwards.
I wanted. Well, the only reason why I had it on to begin with is to keep the hair out of my face. So, Erodimus, I never said Starfield is scrapped for PS5.
Oh my gosh, my voice cracked out.
Sorry, yeah.
I think it's in January. Sir, Mr. Sullivan. Mid-January, we get Sniper Elite Resistance, which is Sniper Elite 6. And, World War II. It's more open world like the last one. If you didn't play 5, you actually missed out. It's way better than it should have been. It's fantastic. But that one's coming to Game Pass day to day. It's like the only third-party partner deal on Game Pass that I know about so far. But
Haven't they been doing
in a month.
Haven't they been doing that for the last 3 or 4 games? Like the Sniper Elites have been coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, they've the last 5 released on Game Pass, and so will this one.
5.
Yeah, so
all right.
But I think other ones are in there. But I would not dismiss Sniper Elite Resistance. They're pretty dang good. You'd be surprised.
They're fun. Yeah.
So this one's almost done. I'm not sure which one's next because I threw these together really quickly, but the year's packed. The next one is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I own the first one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's getting a lot of buzz, man. A lot of people it's getting a lot of buzz. Some QA testers I'll keep quiet on that.
I played it at PAX, so you can talk about that.
Okay, so we can talk about. Okay, I know people play the game openly and of course behind closed doors. And the people playing behind closed doors are all saying it's a fantastic game. Now, the first one, if I'm not mistaken, was the first one available on Game Pass a couple of years ago?
I don't think so.
I swear to God it was. I swear it was. Someone in the chat help me out here, because I swear it was on there. I swear to the precious. I swear it was on there, but I might be mistaken. But anyways, apparently The buzz around this game is real. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Let's see where this goes. I'm excited to see what the final product's going to look like, and I look forward to the reviews. When does that come in March?
February.
Somewhere around there. February. Jesus.
Right next to Avowed and Shadows, which we'll talk about in a second. Yeah, it's nuts.
Above Average Chaos. He said it
was.
Oh,
February 11th.
Game Pass. February 11th. Wow.
What'd you say about Game Pass?
Above Average Chaos in the chat says it was. Kingdom Come, the first one. It was in Game Pass. Yes.
I didn't even download
I remember I played it on Game Pass, and I was like, okay, it's okay, but it really wasn't, it really wasn't doing much for me. But apparently this other one really, really improves on a lot of the mechanics and of the first game, and really builds on it, which is, hey, that's what you're supposed to do. So I think that what they've done right, because what are you supposed to do? A sequel's not supposed to be a lesser experience of the first one. You're supposed to build off the foundations of the great things of the first one and sort of, pull aside the things that didn't work out as well, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing great things about it. Really interested to see where this goes.
Yeah, it's going to be February 4th. I swear that other one said February 11th. The next game is Judas by Ken Levine, the guy that created the BioShock series. He's with a new studio, and he's been working on this for a while. And believe it or not, they have said this game's coming out in 2025. In Judas, you play as a character that is in a derelict generational interstellar ship, like one of those big ships that's carrying humans to Alpha Centauri, and everything's gone awry because they want to start a new galaxy with their own ideals. It's just like BioShock Infinite and like BioShock the original, where they go to this new dystopian location, and you can augment yourself with powers, and everybody hates each other. So Judas looks incredible. It's got it's amazing. The next one you got to talk about, Mag, Mafia: The Old Country, is actually March, I think, 2025. Oh my gosh, what do you have to say about that one?
Maki Gats. All I got to say is, listen, Mafia, I have been waiting years. I am such a huge fan of the series, not only because I'm Italian. By the way, I got to address something in the chat here. Guys, I know a lot of people have been asking for my YouTube channel. I think the link is in the description of this show right here, so you can check it out. I changed, by the way, I also changed the keywords, because there was the key. I had no keywords, and people are like, I can't find the channel even when I type in your name. So type in the Mag or the Mag Show, capital letters or whatever else. It should show up now.
Is it linked on your Twitter? Because
it's linked on my Twitter as well.
Yeah, when I set up the show, it doesn't let me use my upload default, so I have to manually put in his show. But go to his at Middle Age Game Guy.
It's there.
Go to his Twitter and then go to that, and I'll get it into the description.
Donnie is actually pretty good at clipping in the chat off again, on and off again. Papa Baco, you've been hilarious all night, by the way. Yes. Anyways, back to Mafia. Played the trilogy, loved every ounce of it. And funny enough, you know how I discovered the trilogy is remember when Xbox used to give away games with gold or whatever, like way back when they actually did like quality games before Game Pass came out. Mafia 2 was one of the games that they gave away that month, whatever month it was, right? And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I knew it was popular on PC, but I didn't really know much about it. So I ended up downloading it for free, well, essentially for free, because I had a gold subscription back in those days. And I played it, and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I mean, this is like basically like an Italian Grand Theft Auto set in the 40s. You know what I mean? And so, or set in I think that one was set in the 30s or 40s. I can't remember. Anyways, it was magnificent. I loved it. I love the story. I love the music. I loved everything about it. Then I went back and played 1. Then I played the remake of 1. That was amazing. The ground up remake of part 1 was fantastic. If you've got it now, I think you could play it on Xbox and on Game Pass. I think it was on Game Pass for a while. And then it's on PlayStation Plus. You can actually download that for free as well. So go play that if you haven't played the Mafia 1 remake. Amazing game. And even for all its flaws, as Colt and I have already discussed before, Mafia 3, what a fantastic game. Doesn't star an Italian in the third one. But it's a wonderful game. I really, really enjoyed that too. A great story, great music, great everything. So that was really a lot of
capsules.
Fun. Yeah, they're just so good. And so now this one is going to go back even further. And now this is going to go back to like some of not the origins of the Mafia, but certainly much earlier in the days. I think it's going to be set in the 20s, I think, something like that.
Yeah, they haven't
somewhere
said,
around,
but they say early 1900s. So,
yeah, early 20th century. So you're looking at like the 1910s to 1930, somewhere around there. And it's going to be in Italy for the most part.
Yeah, it's in Sicily, in like a fictional village or small town. And they said this game is not open world like Mafia 3. It's more like the other ones. It's more contained, and I don't know. It's good.
I mean, they were open. Really, the other ones were open world, but they were smaller open worlds.
Yeah.
So it really kept it like in a smaller package. Like it wasn't like Grand Theft Auto 5 where you're driving in the forest for 7 hours, and into the desert and this and that, whatever. Yeah. And just uselessly exploring, empty oceans for no reason. You know what I mean? Like there actually was. They kept it tight and concise, and I actually kind of in a lot of ways I actually prefer that. To keep it a little bit tight, keep it tighter, you know what I mean, and more manageable. Yeah. But anyways, I'm really, really looking forward to this big time. That's
a couple months away.
That's in my top 3 or 4 for the year, and that is an absolute day one. I will not wait for a sale for that.
Yeah, you think sometimes you might think you won't like a Mafia game. Like, why was I going to play Mafia 1 Definitive Edition? I never played it before, and then I just absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's like in a couple months away. The next one is the first Berserker Kazan, which is like a Souls-like game that doesn't have any actual gameplay, but they said it's coming out in 2025, and it's very bloody. I don't even know what the heck's going on, but it's all like CGI.
You got no gameplay, and you don't show anything, and you're saying 2025, and I don't know anything about you, then I'm not even going to look at you.
Yeah, I'm thinking 26.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying I'm just not going to look at you because you're not giving me anything of substance to look at. You know what I'm saying? If I was an investor, I'd be like, okay, what do you got? And they're like, well, not much. I'm like, okay, well, call me when you got something, and then maybe I'll think about it. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I'm sitting with this one right now.
Yeah, so at this point, we know
moving the needle at all.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not like I don't know what to expect because you and I know lots. The audience now thinks if I'm not seeing actual gameplay behind the controls, I'm not ready to even like be more than just regularly excited. I don't know how to say it. You just know, like, it's okay to have CGI, but if I don't see actual gameplay, I don't really think your game's coming out in a year.
Colt, there's a lot of people in the chat here saying they've already played it. It was on the Insider Hub. That's what a lot of people are saying here.
Yeah, it comes out March 27th. So where's the gameplay?
Oh,
the next one is Crimson Desert by Black Desert. This game, freaking awesome. I cannot wait. I know that you've been looking at it a little bit.
Yeah, I've been looking at it too, man. It looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, we got to see how this thing actually plays.
What does it look like to you, Mag, when you look at it? Like, what kind of games does it make you think about? Or games?
It makes me think about like a mixture of like Dragon's Dogma and Witcher with multiplayer, essentially. You know what I mean? Where you can like kind of come across other people and this and that, whatever. It just seems like more like my Dragon's Dogma. I think. Kind of.
They said this one's all single player, so you won't come across anybody else. But
100% single player, nothing else, because it seemed like a lot of NPCs on the screen, things going on. I was under the assumption those were just other players.
No, I think it's just a bunch of enemies, and I also get some Final Fantasy vibes from it too.
All right, then I stand corrected. I thought it was something completely different in terms of what are they going to offer.
Look at this combat.
Yeah.
This freaking looks so fun. Black Desert has a lot to prove.
All right, so then maybe more along the lines of Dragon's Dogma, because I mean you could still run around with all these people, but it's a single player game, right? So I would lean more towards that then. I did not realize that. On the rare occasion I'm 100% wrong. Very rare. Ask my wife.
60% of the time you're right every time.
I'm right every time. That's right. Ask my wife. She knows I'm always right.
Next one is Borderlands 4, which looks just like Borderlands 3, but you got new characters.
Go in.
I mean, what's going to be improved? I hope a lot. They said no toilet humor, no skibbity toilet, no like topical
I don't
trendy
really care.
humor.
I don't really care.
I don't know.
The humor, it is what it is. It take it or leave it. But for me, it's about the gameplay, and the gameplay of Borderlands has always been top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from hit detection, from the frames, from the smooth, like everything is just so super smooth, super quick, super responsive. Just outstanding gameplay, and it always has been from the first one. Yeah, eye candy from the first Borderlands all the way up to the pre-sequel, to the to the actual trilogy itself, the Handsome Collection. All of them are just, in gameplay wise, top notch. I expect nothing less from Borderlands 4. I'm excited for it big time. It's in my top 5 for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. I hope it's really good. Like, I didn't love 3 nearly as much as I would like, even the pre-sequel. In fact, I love the pre-sequel, especially who plays crap.
Pre-sequel was great.
Yeah, it was.
And I even played the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. We'll
I was going to say
the
what were they called? The Telltale. I even played the Borderlands Telltale game.
Yeah, people love those. I didn't play
that. Was a great game. It was a great game. I mean, you can't really call it a game. We'll just call it an experience.
Yeah.
But it was great. I love the Borderlands Telltale game. Wonderful game.
No, so then I think you're a win-win for Borderlands 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just being optimistic that I'll like it. I guess my issues with Borderlands 3 are really only the main characters that the enemies sucked. The twins.
I still got 3,000 of the 3,000 achievements on it.
Oh, jeez.
That thing
used to shut down my One X. My Xbox One X would just completely power off playing Borderlands 3 because it ran at 60 frames, and it just shut the thing off.
It's a beast of a game. But yeah, man, I adored it. And what I do, I always buy the full package, all the DLC, everything else, all the stories, everything. And I 100% the whole damn thing, and I don't stop. It's addictive like Call of Duty. You just like keep going and going and going and going, and I just don't touch anything else. While I'm doing Borderlands, every other game is completely ignored. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things.
I thought I had a serious medical condition when it came to Borderlands 2. I was so hooked on it.
Oh, dude. That's where I got hooked.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's funny? That's where I got hooked was Borderlands 2. Because once again, it showed up on Xbox Game Pass way back in the day. And I ended up playing it on Game Pass, and I was like, oh,
was that your first foray into 2? Or did you play it back in the day?
No. That was my first foray into it, is that when I did that, and then I played the Handsome Jack collection. I went back and played part 1, and then I went back part 1, then the Handsome Jack collection, then part 2, then the pre-sequel, then 3, the Telltale game, and then that's it. And I'm gonna play 3 again. I'm gonna play 3 again before 4 comes out. I'm gonna stream that with my son. So because he's never played it, and I'm like, let's get jacked up and ready for Borderlands 4. We're gonna play it. So we're gonna do the It Takes Two game first, and then we're gonna go into Borderlands 3, and then I'll be soloing the Mafia games myself.
Yeah, and we know that Gearbox does not want to say the release date. They're waiting until Grand Theft Auto says. Risk It for the Biscuit says about the first Berserker Kazan. He says, if you're a Souls player, you'll love it. So I'm assuming he's played the early access for Kazan, which is
yes.
Kazan. Thank you for the Australian 3 on that one. Risk It, appreciate you so much. Broke Boy Lewis. I'm surprised this one hasn't come up on the listing yet for us to talk about, but it will be on there. Thank you so much for the 5. Says, I think they delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows. They canceled the early access for the game. It's no longer available for pre-order. Ubisoft still says February 14th, though. I can tell you with impunity that they have not canceled or delayed anything for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And that will be evident in 2 or 3 weeks.
All right.
There you go. It's coming. I hope people like it, because I know I'm going to like it. It just looks like a great game. I hope people can get over some of the complaints about how they preface the game and all that stuff. Let me go back we're on pause here for the video. Let me hit play. AC Shadows. Let me delete that. Okay. I had 2 videos sitting in here. All right. What's next on the list, Mag? That's not how you hit play. This is how you hit play. Sorry, I want these to be up while we talk. Split Fiction by Joseph Ferris, who did It Takes Two.
There it is.
Game of the Year 2022?
I think it was 22.
22?
Because last year was, Elden Ring was what, 21?
Yes.
And then It Takes Two. And then what was last year? What the hell was last year?
Oh, what was last year?
Well, this year was
Alan Wake.
Oh, it was Baldur's Gate 3, wasn't it?
Baldur's Gate 3, yeah, duh.
All right, so there you go. So so It Takes Two was 22.
My question for you, Mag, is what is your favorite video game genre? Fantasy or sci-fi? Because you get to play both. If you had to choose, what's your favorite?
If I had the choice, If I had the choice, I think I'd go with fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tough choice. I think I'd go sci-fi.
I feel the lore is like the worlds seem to be something more involved that I just feel I connect to more. Like I would love like when I played Witcher 3 for the first time, and you're going into like these villages and you're like these lush, I mean for the time anyway, graphics of like these straw huts and roaring fires and in pubs and this and that and dark castles, and you know what I mean. Like the atmosphere for me is just I just feel more connected to the fantasy world. I think
it's funny when you say that. A lot of sci-fi borrows nearly everything from fantasy.
Kids
in its
Move
like
just
futuristic powers.
Yep.
What's that?
I was saying Kids Move just corrected me. What's up, by the way? I said It Takes Two was 21 and Elden Ring was 22. So I got it backwards, but yes.
Hey, same thing, right? Who's even keeping track at this point? Yeah, it is funny.
Or for life had to say something, eh? Yeah, okay. I saw
some of our favorite sci-fi games like borrow powers directly from fantasy games and just kind of modernize them. And that's what makes games great. I think anytime you're doing something you can't do in regular real life is like kind of my jam. This game looks fantastic. What do you think? You going to play this one?
What? Sorry, I lost the second. No, split. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were showing something else. I'm like, what's going on now? No, I am, because I'm going to stream It Takes Two with the boy. Awesome. And then when we're finished that, we're going to go right into this split fiction. We're going to buy it day one, and we're going to play that together as well. So we're going to do that. So we're going to, that's exciting. Because I thought that It Takes Two was a wonderful game. Little too long for my liking. I actually would have probably shaved off a few hours there, because it seemed like it was like, holy crap, when is this going to end kind of thing. But
even though it was so good. Yeah,
it just felt like it overstayed its welcome a little bit, but it was just such a wonderful game. So I expect nothing less with this one. It's one of those games that when you're playing, you're smiling from the ingenuity of it. You know what I mean? It's like I know we talked about it before, like Astrobot. When you play Astrobot, you don't even realize you're doing it, but you're smiling while you're playing. You're like, oh, that's such an adorable idea of shrinking into a mouse, and now I can crawl into the mushroom. And, you know what I mean? And like that, like, you know what I mean? Like little random things like that you discover. Same thing with It Takes Two. It was one of those games where you're just like, oh, that's so clever. It's like, bravo, that's amazing. And you just find yourself smiling. So I'm really looking forward to the game as well.
Yeah, we could have stopped there in 2025. It'd be incredible. Up next, probably toward the end of the year, is Obsidian Entertainment's Outer Worlds 2, which looks 3 times better and 2 times more the everything, I guess. This game has so much charm. I went back to play Outer Worlds 1 after this reveal, and I was surprised by how slow the game starts. Oh gosh, it's like that Fallout Light experience, that sci-fi Fallout thing. I don't know if you played much of Outer Worlds 1, but what are your thoughts on Outer Worlds 2?
You know what? It showed a lot better than Outer Worlds 1, and it immediately grabbed my attention, and I'm like, you just made it to the list. Because the trailer really sold. I mean, when it comes to the end, at the end of the day, trailers have to sell the sizzle, because you're not getting the steak. You're just getting the sizzle. And man, did they ever sell the sizzle. And I was just like, I wasn't that impressed with the Outer Worlds, the first one. I did play it. I didn't really like it. I was like, okay. I kept trying to get back into it. I'm like, this is just not connecting. But I saw the second trailer and I went, holy crap. And that's one of those games where like I just sat up in my seat and I go, all right, I'm paying attention. You know what I mean? I'm paying attention now. This is the kind of thing where I'm like, it's just like Halo 1 was good. Wasn't great. I thought it was good. Halo 2 was incredible. Right? And it's like, okay, I played Halo 1. It was all right. Then I saw the trailer for Halo 2 and I went, hello. And I sat up in my seat and I went, what is this? And then it was just a way better experience for me. Same thing with Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2. Uncharted 1 was all right. Uncharted 2 was the GOAT of that generation.
I think Uncharted 1 was awesome.
I know it was good, but it wasn't as great as Part 2. Same thing with Halo. I don't care what it was. I think Halo 2 was a better game than Halo 1. And this one, Outer Worlds 2, from what I've seen, looks leap years beyond what they did in the first game. So I'm super excited to see it, and I'm super excited to play it. So it's on the list, dude. I'm giving it The Emperor has given the thumbs up. You live for yet another day.
You live. Yeah, I mean, I guess I was so surprised that this is coming out in 25. They're probably going to put this game in around August, I think. And I was trying to kind of chop out, Xbox going to put Outer Worlds in August, September. Maybe they have a Forza Horizon game. October, they have Call of Duty. November, Fable. And then Gears E-Day is supposed to make it in there, according to Tom Warren, but it's insane. I don't know how it's all going to work. Let me move to the next one, which is what we talked about, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Couldn't think of the proper name for it. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I am so tired of the hate for this game. It looks so fun, and I know that Assassin's Creed games look eye-meltingly gorgeous everywhere you look. I'm so excited to play as Yasuke and Naoe. I don't care. This game looks so good. I really sincerely mean it when I hope that people can set aside. Yes, Ubisoft should have consulted their Japan teams. What the F were they thinking? But gosh dang it, I really hope this game succeeds because I think it looks fantastic. What do you think about Assassin's Creed?
When it comes to a new Ubisoft title, I do what I always do. Wait a year and buy it on discount. And the reason why is because they fix all the bugs. They get it all settled. And it's nothing against the quality of the games when they come out. It's just that you feel like a beta tester a lot, even though I already am a beta tester for them. So it's like, I feel like, I'm like, why am I doing this twice? Except this time, instead of you paying me, I'm paying you. So no, I'll wait. Look at Star Wars Outlaws. I heard, like it was a complete disaster when it came out, and now I'm hearing things that from some fellow YouTubers who've gone back and played it since they've updated it in the last 7 months, and they're saying the game plays so much better now, and they're saying the game is actually a lot better, and some people are even going as far as saying the game is actually great. So since they've done all these quality of life updates and they changed a lot of mechanics and this and that, whatever, and that's how Ubisoft rolls. And then what's gonna happen when during like some sale or sometime when it's like $25-$30, I'll buy Star Wars Outlaws and I'll play it. But that's kind of how these things go, man. It's just the way it is. So there's nothing I could do about it. But anyways, as for Assassin's Creed, I'm gonna wait. Only because
I can't wait. I can't wait, but
I got so much to play. There's literally no rush for me to play that game. Some of them I'm going to be playing because I'm going to be streaming them. That's a little different story. I'm not going to be streaming Assassin's Creed. But again, they have a history over the last couple of years of, you know what I mean? Like not releasing games that have been up to performance quality at launch. And at that point, I just don't feel like I'm just going to give them my full dollar for that reason. If it does release incredible, the FOMO might get me by the short and curlies. What am I supposed to do? If everybody's talking about it and it comes out perfect, not perfect, but a damn good game and it performs well, then I might not have a choice. But again, if I were a statistics man, I would say that Ubisoft games are best to wait.
Okay. All right, that's fair enough.
Sorry, that's just the way I'm going to be on that. And
yeah, I can't wait. So
that has nothing to do with any identity politics controversies or anything like that. It literally just has to do with the technicalities of the way Ubisoft releases their games lately.
Yeah, and I don't remember Valhalla. Valhalla ran fine, didn't have problems, but apparently there was some people reported that there was a buggy build with Shadows, but I don't know. I didn't see all the people who got to play it. The next one is Avowed, which I've already talked about. Yeah. It's surprisingly great. It's Elder Scrolls Light in its own way. The combat's really fun. It's not as polished as a big AAA game, but it's super, super charming. Also, that was a quick trailer. Let me pause this real quick. I say this in my video tomorrow. I played the game for 18 hours, Avowed. I did not see any socio-political pandering or any nonsense in the game, other than some of the characters don't have gigantic boobs. Yeah, it's there's nothing like that. But I only got to play one major section of the game. It's just unfortunate that these companies are doing this to themselves. The next one is South of Midnight, which we talked about earlier. I talked about it. Is there anything you want to say about South of Midnight? You said when it's coming.
I've been fun. Matt the Golden, get some rest, buddy. Get some rest.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys being here.
And get better. Sorry, Matt the Golden. He's like, I got to leave. I'm still sick. So bye. I'm like, you have a wonderful evening. Get some rest. Drink lots of fluids. All right.
Yeah, my whole family is sick. I'm the only one who's not sick right now, and it'll probably hit me in a couple days. Boner Jams, the $5 super says, my favorite game of the year, Toe Jam and Earl. You can tell how classic he is when it comes to gaming. Happy New Year's to Colt and Megalodon. Love you guys. Seriously, like.
Thank you, brother. We love you too, man.
Hit us up, bro. Like, we want to come hang out and do the show on a Wednesday.
Sure.
You're probably not doing the show this week because it's New Year's, but New Year's Day, I think.
Yeah, no, New Year's Day is on a Wednesday. That's that's a no-go for me either. I actually have to work that day. I'm so mad.
Oh, jeez, bro.
I'm going to be so. I'm not going to say it in the air, but I'm going to totally be just wrecked from the night before. So it doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I mean, I don't give a crap. Yeah. So whatever. I'll get through it.
Mag, you work so hard to not say the smallest cuss words. Yeah, you're too good. Noise Fomo says, "Don't tease me, Colt." I don't remember what that would be about.
But... that's about Avowed, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Avowed's way up there on my I can't wait to play, and it's very possible that I get a review code for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I know I'll get a review code for Avowed, and it's very possible I get those on like the same day or a day apart. So you're seeing on the screen right now is Spine, which is coming out soon, which is a cool little indie game that I just threw in here for fun. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to cover Avowed first, and then Assassin's Creed. It's a great problem to have. What else is on the docket for games? It's crazy. I want to make sure I get through all these, and we're almost done. Let me see here.
Don't forget Doom. South of Midnight, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I'm going to be very brief there because I've been following the game for a couple of years now. I know some people very close to the project, and I've been following it very closely. And as a result, the more I hear about it, the more I know about it, the more I'm excited about it. So it's definitely in the top. It's in my list of the top.
You think it's going to be a good game? Because I worry about Compulsion hasn't put out something fantastically amazing yet. But I mean, this game does look really great. The other one is Monster Hunter Wilds, which is coming to Xbox and everything else. This game is going to be really popular. I don't know if I'm going to like it because the mechanics in these games are really funky to me. Did you ever play or get into any of the Monster Hunter games?
I tried. Not really my cup of tea either. Just really couldn't get into it. And I was just like, okay, well, like I said, it was one of those things. I just couldn't get into it. Once again, it was on Game Pass, so I just tried it out. Yeah. And then I played it, just didn't do anything for me. So
yeah, they're kind of
what it is. So I'm not going to play the new one. So it's the same like Yakuza, and Monster Hunter. I'm not playing either one of them. So
it is interesting, guys like you and I. Some of these styled games don't really resonate with us the way they do other people that may have grown up on playing them. But there are certain games that I'm like, I just can't do it. What am I looking at here? I think this is like Mistfall or something. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's like another Souls type game. This game looks cool. Are you seeing this, Mag, in real time?
Yeah. Yep.
I think it looks
again one of those. You know, it's funny. It's just that the cascade of Souls games that are coming out because of the success of Elden Ring. You know, it's kind of getting a little tiresome at this point for me. I mean, I love it. I played Demon Souls. I love that game. I never finished it because I just got so confused. I didn't know where to go. I was just like, forget it. And I still put 65, 70 hours into that game. Elden Ring I finished. Yeah, I put in 130, 140 hours in Elden Ring. Adored that game. Loved it too. But again, it comes down to one of those points where I'm like, well, now everybody's doing it because the popularity of Elden Ring, right? So yeah. I don't know. It's just not really on the listen. There's too much coming out that I think that we're at a point now where we actually have the privilege of being able to like hand pick what games we want to play this year because there's so much coming out that we don't have to be like, well, I'm going to play it because there's nothing else coming out for the next 5 months. It's like every week you're getting kicked in the getting kicked in the crotch weekly from like a new game. You're just like, holy crap. And then as soon as you recover and you get back up again, they kick you in the nuts again.
There's going to be a big game like every 2 weeks next year.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. There's no way we can keep up with that. And like a completionist like myself, I might have to give it up. I might have to give up the completionist stuff because there's just so much happening. There's no way I have the time to do all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I won't be able to do all that. I won't be able to complete all these games and get thousands out of thousands and platinums. Are you out of your mind? How?
Oh, I mean, that's your fault. This other game is The Final Shard, I think it's called. It might be called The Last Shard. But it's The Last Shard.
That sounded so, yeah.
Didn't it? This is after Taco Bell, like this is the final shard. This game looks super colorful, kind of reminds me of Immortals Phoenix Rising, but it's, that style of game. It just kind of has that visual aesthetic, but it looks cool. I think this one comes out in 2025. You kind of look at this and go, hey, I might play that. That's kind of the year that you have.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're at a point where there's so many games coming out that you're just going to have to drop something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're just going to be able to like, listen, man, I got to make choices here. Like I can't play every effing game unless that's literally your job.
If you have FOMO, you cannot say, I want to buy these games as soon as they come out. The next one I think is one of your freaking favorites is the Mouse PI. Is that what it's called? The black and white.
That looks so much fun, man.
Doesn't
I love that.
good?
Yeah, it looks great.
Our good friend, the Lone Vault Wanderer, who covers Bethesda, Elder Scrolls, Fallout content on YouTube, he is one of their community managers for the Mouse Detective PI. I think that's what it's called. Mag, what do you think? Like, you've talked about this game.
Dude, I'm in for the game. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to have fun. It looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, man. I'm in 100%.
The squishy, like stretchy animation.
Oh, I kind of like how it's got the same, what the hell is that, Cuphead sort of vibe to it, but not being Cuphead.
You can kick.
Does that make any sense?
No, it's exactly what it is. Everybody,
you know what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Do you think this game's going to be like Souls hard, like Cuphead? Like it's going to be?
No, I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so.
It's like, gosh, look at
Cuphead was just ridiculous. My kids, by the way, got. I think they're right now. They're like 970 achievement points out of 1,000 on Cuphead.
Oh,
can you imagine that?
I stopped at the halfway mark when I got the second map. I did a couple levels.
You know the funny thing is, if anybody went into my achievement list because they played it on my Xbox, everybody's gonna think that it was me that got like 970 achievement points out of 1,000. And no, dude, it ain't me at all. I might have gotten 30 of those. The rest was them. They are just incredible at that game. But anyways, I hope it's not that in terms of the difficulty, because there's a difference between difficulty and stupid. And to me, that
had
game
some
is
stupidly difficult crap.
It was really, really, really just agitating to the, you know what I mean? It was just beyond the point of, oh, this is challenging to just, this is stupid.
Yep.
So, but fantastic to look at, and what an incredible production of a game, though. But anyways, I'm looking forward to this Mouse
PI. Looks good. The next one is, I'm an Xbox guy, and I know Mag is an Xbox and PlayStation guy. I like PlayStation games too.
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotei looks freaking amazing, bro.
That's my top 3. Ghost of.
Are you mad that it's female character?
No, I love female characters. I love female characters. Like I prefer them. Like I said, like Jill Valentine, Lara Croft. This chick, whatever her name is, Stellar Blade, all those games. I love all that. Yeah, even when I played Assassin's Creed.
Wait, this is Yotei, is it?
I played Cassandra. I turned that screen off because I increased the chat. I popped out the chat so I don't see the screen anymore.
Hold on, because there's another game that I put in here. I'm trying to remember the name. But when I saw the yellow, I thought it was because Ghost of Yotei is going to come up here. This is in State of Play. It was another game that's so funny. Is this Wukong Fallen Feathers? Wuchong? Maybe?
Fallen Feathers?
Hold on. I have it in my list, when I dropped everything in here. That's so funny. Cole's so dumb, he doesn't even know. It totally looked like it was, because it had the horse and then there's the yellow, which is part of their branding. Totally looked like Yotei at first. Hold on, where is it? It was from State of Play. I don't see it in here. Anyway,
I was just saying Phantom Blade.
Phantom Blade. Thank you so much.
Phantom Blade actually looks.
Yeah, there it is. And it says it right now. Yeah, this game looks awesome. I don't know if it's 2025, but yeah. We'll talk about Yote in a minute, but Fable. We've talked about Fable a lot, and I don't want to go too far here because we could talk about forever. But the latest I'm hearing is that Playground knows this game's coming out in 2025. I know you're saying
that's crazy.
It's going to get pushed, and maybe they're going to bump it because of Grand Theft Auto. I seriously hope not, because Xbox owes their fans the games they promised years ago. But as far as I have heard, that they're ready. They're ready to put this game out. And if they are...
Maybe they're waiting to see what Rockstar is doing. Because a lot of people are waiting. They're not giving release dates until Rockstar says, okay, well, this is what's happening. And they're all waiting for them. Which is, by the way, that really pisses me off, because they must, there's an air of arrogance to Rockstar that really bothers me, where they're like, yeah, we'll release whenever we want, when we feel like it, when we want to do this, that. Like, I just feel...
move out of my way, I'm going to release my game.
Yeah, everybody get out of my way. Like, it's that I feel like this air of arrogance about them that kind of bothers me a little bit. And I'm just like, guys, and then like they were supposed to, like, there was all these hints that they were going to release their trailer on the 27th, and they did nothing. And yeah, they did, but like at some point you'd be like, can you guys just not be a bunch of a-holes and just say, hi, the game's coming on this day. Here's a trailer. Go away. Here's some gameplay. They're always good with their gameplay trailers, like later on, like they give like the deep dive, you know what I mean, where they talk about what you're going to be doing in the game and
what if the game's
activities in the open world.
What if the game is a disappointment and it just feels like Grand Theft Auto 5 in Miami, which would be great.
I would be just fine with me. I'd be okay with that. But I'm just saying,
I'd still say it's amazing. Yeah.
Like the whole industry is waiting for these pricks to like just say, hi, we're confirming it for September, because literally the entire industry is waiting. They're not giving a release date until then.
Yeah, they all know it. Will Broke Boy Lewis says, an air of arrogance is sarcasm at its highest. Rockstar is full of it. So yeah, he's totally on board with what you said.
Yeah, I see. Like, I just don't like the vibe that they send, even if they don't mean to. It's just coming across that way, and it bothers me. And like I said, everybody else is on pins and needles waiting for them to say something. I'm like, what is this? You know what I want? I want, what's his name there from Borderlands? What the hell's his name there? The crazy guy.
Oh, Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford
with a thumb drive.
The Suge Knight. The Suge Knight of the gaming industry, because he's such a maniac. You know what I want him to do? I want him to be like, you know what, Rockstar? Go F yourself. I'm releasing my game the same day as yours. You move from me. Like, I could see him being that insane, or whatever. Maybe he'll just be like, you know what? My game's coming out September 18th. Take it or leave it. You know what I mean? I don't care what Rockstar does. And I think if you're saying that Fable's ready to go, I'm saying the reason why I think they were going to push it was because of Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. Because where are you going to put Fable?
Well, here's what's going to happen.
Fable's a flagship title.
Here's what's going to happen. Sometime in the early summer, late spring, Rockstar is going to have a trailer with the release date. And let's say September 21st is the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6. They will go into the summer, and if they go, oh crap, we got to delay the game, and then they move it and it bumps into Fable, like, because I think what will happen is if Rockstar announces in early spring when their release date is, all the other studios go, okay, we're ready. We've got our release date set out, blah, 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 right? And then Rockstar's like, oh crap, we need 2 more months, or we need 3 more months. Then somebody's going to get stepped on regardless. And it's kind of like, as we joke, like we do our show on a Monday and Rand and Jez have to move it last minute. And now it's like, oh crap, there's nothing you can do about it. So, what is this Jump Ship? Jump Ship is like some small game that's coming to Xbox. I think it's only coming to Xbox and PC that you're seeing on screen. It looks kind of cool. It's super AA, kind of looks dated, but looks fun. I haven't covered this game on my channel, but apparently it's a thing. Kind of looks cool. I'll use the word cool 9 times.
It's going to be like one of those get to it at some point. Once you're done with the big boys.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a 6 or 7 out of 10, but looks cool. Doom the Dark Ages on, which we talked about. And then apparently they want to release Marvel's 1943 Rise of the Hydra. You play as 4 playable characters. I learned this when I worked on my video. I know you have Captain America and Black Panther, but I don't know what other 2 characters you're playing as because I haven't really paid enough attention. It's probably at the end of the video. But this game's coming out in 2025. What do you think? Do you have anything to say about this one?
Jeez, man.
I know.
Like when? Where are you going to put these things? On top of each other? Like, there's only so much. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just losing. Like, with all the things that we're talking about outside of Grand Theft Auto, a lot of these are first-party titles, right? Whether it's Xbox, whether it's PlayStation, whatever. We're not even including what all the other big boys are doing, like EA and you know what I mean? Like what are they coming? Isn't that an EA game? The 1943, if I'm not mistaken, or am I mistaken? Or am I thinking of the other one?
No, I think it might be. EA might be attached to it. It's Skydance
Like,
Studios.
I mean, there's all these third-party games. Where are they going to put all this stuff? It's insanity.
I think that 2025 is going to be the most action-packed, game-packed, big AAA blockbuster-packed. Plus, you know, when you got things like Split Fiction, which are smaller and are probably going to be a nod to the game of the year, the competition's crazy, and we're here to benefit from it.
Well, I'm going to benefit. Yeah, so
it's like, when does this game come out? I have no idea. We've got a couple more left. Let me scrub. Towerborn, I don't care. I played Towerborn early access. If you like beat 'em ups, it feels great. It looks cool. It just doesn't interest me. Leveling up your character and getting more perks and stuff. It's just not really something that doesn't keep my attention. I think we have like 2 more left. Meg, you've been amazing. I think we may see Clockwork Revolution this year. There's no reason to release it in 2025. It's probably a 2026 game.
There's no need to release it this year. None. Zero.
But if an Exile's ready, they need their moment to release their game and have their return on investment.
When?
I don't know, Mag, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets its moment in the Developer Direct in January, and maybe it is targeted for 2025, but maybe it slips to 26, but it's highly possible. This game, they've already shown gameplay at 60 frames, first-person gameplay. It's like BioShock meets Cyberpunk or Steampunk Fallout. Let me go to the next one. We're almost done with this trailer. Hold on, let me scrub here. Sorry, it looks crappy when you scrub here. One more left. What was the very last one I put up? I'm trying to remember. I threw all this together today. What is this? Oh, it's still the trailer. 2025 is incredible. Watch out for my video in about 12 hours from now. It's going to be out, and it's the last video I put out for the year. Oh, Marathon. Sony hasn't said, PlayStation hasn't said, or Bungie, that this game is hitting 2025, but I think it's about time, and people have tested it. And what do you think for Marathon? What are your expectations?
Not much. Not much. It's not even on my radar. I'm not even remotely interested in it, to be quite honest. Like, Bungie just does nothing for me. Destiny, I don't even like Destiny. The gameplay mechanics are great. You know, the first-person shooting is great. Hit detection, great. Movement, great. It's just not for me. It's just not my jam. And when they announced this, I didn't even blink. I was just like,
it's an extraction shooter as well, so you have to hustle out.
Forget it. No, I know. I'm out. I'm out. As soon as you say extraction shooter, I'm out. You can keep your game.
We sound so rude, but chat, what do you guys think? Extraction, multiplayer, competitive shooter from Bungie, I'm sure it'll. I don't know. Knowing Bungie, I'm sure it'll be really well received. And it'll have a hot moment. Maybe it'll be like Helldivers, and people are just like, "Oh my gosh, this is so addictive," but it just doesn't sound like something I want to play.
No, I have zero interest in it.
Chris says Gears. I think Gears. No, was Gears EA even in this? But Tom Warren says it's coming out in 25.
That's not.
I don't think so either.
When?
When?
When are you going to do that? You're going to release Call of Duty and Gears of War on top of each other, and then Fable. Like, how stupid are we? Think about the financial aspect of this. Mm-hmm. You know how stupid that is? You want to release 3 high-profile games within 3 months, and you're not going to capitalize on a subscription service by doing that, because you're going to want to space it out so you keep people subscribed for longer. You're not going to have people slamming 3 games in a matter of a couple of months, spend $40 for the biggest flagship titles that Xbox is going to be releasing this generation, and then you think that that's what they're going to do? You are completely and 100% mistaken. That is not what they're going to do.
Xbox has...
I will eat my pants live on the air if that happened.
Oh,
and plus, Gears of War never gave a release year. Same thing with State of Decay 3, by the way. I see all these people talk about State of Decay
3 is not 2025.
It was never given a release date. And they're like, oh, it's delayed. It was never given a year. That was my main complaint about seeing all those trailers. I'm like, half of them didn't even have a release year. What are you talking about? Sorry, go on.
Xbox has 7, maybe 8 games in 2025. Okay?
Right.
And I could list them out and bore you, but it's probably, knowing Xbox, is probably 6 at the end of the year. Once the year's over, it was actually 6 games, and from their first-party studios. So,
right,
you could put those out every other month, and you're good. But as Mag has explained, what about the juggernauts like Judas, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Assassin's Creed, you name it, like in Grand Theft Auto, all these games put a wrench in the gear of putting out a game every other month. You essentially can have something that gives somebody something to play on Game Pass. There we go. Every month. You will. But you don't have to slam them all together and not maximize. I know, like I said, I understand it's no longer their focus, the subscription service, but it's still there, and it's still something that they're not going to let people exploit. I mean, beyond the normal means of exploitation. Because, I mean, essentially, I could wait, let's just say for argument's sake, I could cancel Game Pass right now, wait an entire year, and then play all those games in 1 month. And then just cancel it again for $20. But normal people don't do things like that. So they're going to want, they want you to stay in there. And if you release them on top of each other, people will finish them quickly or not even finish them at all. And that's the other thing. You overwhelm people with it. Just look at the statistics of the achievements. People are not finishing these games. They're not, but it could work in their favor. People are like, I can't unsub. Right. I'm in the middle of, I haven't finished this game I really wanted to finish.
Exactly. So why would you put these games on top of each other? Give them time to finish these games.
Yeah.
Fable's not going to be a 10-hour experience. You know it. Yeah. So you're not going to be able to finish it in 1 week or like 2 days. Or whatever, right? It's going to take you a bit of time to play that game. So it's going to take longer than a month, guaranteed, unless, you're one of those guys. It's like a game came out on Friday, and by Sunday, they're like, I have 473 hours in the game. I'm like, there's not even enough hours in the day. How did you do that? Did you get a time turner from Hermione? And it's like how do these people get all these hours into this game? Do you have nothing else to do? It's ridiculous. But besides those people, the normal people, it'll take them more than a month, at least, sometimes 2 months, maybe 3 months to finish some of those games. Look at indie. People are still playing indie now. It's been out a month, right? And people are still playing and whatever else, and they're going to play into January with it. You just got another month sub out of it. Would you put indie, Gears, and Fable and slam them all within 6 weeks of each other? No. That wouldn't be beneficial to Xbox at all. That wouldn't be beneficial to Microsoft at all. So
that bothers me that Game Pass is going to dictate how often Xbox puts out a game when if they space out something for Flight Sim in 2024, there's going to be all these people who are like, well, I didn't want to play Flight Sim anyway. Why do I have to wait for Avowed? That doesn't exactly
even
translate.
If you were selling, no, I get what you're saying. But also think about this. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Nintendo did that. And they're not going to release 3 high-profile games in front of each other, because then eventually it's going to cannibalize the sales of the other 2, because people will make decisions. People will not go out there and just
Battlefield.
Right. And people will not instantly go out there and spend $220 and buy 3 AAA games on day one. Yeah, hardcore will, but a lot of people will be like, wow, 3 games came out within a month. I'm going to pick one. And then the other 2 fall by the wayside. And that's what ends up happening. So but if you space it out every couple of months, people will say, I'll buy that, and then I'm going to buy that, and then I'm going to buy that. Same thing with Game Pass. People are not going to consume that way.
Some of it might work for them because games are so varied on Xbox's platform. The games that Xbox has coming out are so different from each other, for the most part, that there are different audiences. Now, I've never heard Xbox say, oh, Minecraft Legends for this type of person. Xbox has this attitude like every game is for everyone at all times. And so they think everyone who plays Minecraft Legends is going to go play Forza Horizon, and that's not necessarily the case. Holy crap, there's 500 people watching us over time. We're well over the show. Thank you so much. Hit the like button.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, you and I will. I'm sure people in the chat will. I'll play a racer. I'll play a fantasy game. I'll play a sci-fi shooter. I'll play a first-person shooter. I'll play a military sim. I'll do all that stuff, and I'm sure the people in the chat and you will do the same thing. We don't represent everybody. There's no question. Because people will pick and choose what they want to play. There's no question. But I just think there's too much going on. It's going to be a very interesting, listen, like I said, these are really great problems to have, but this is going to be a wild year coming up. And let's just see how it all turns out, man.
Hey,
and
Peter.
A lot of it banks
Peter,
on
man.
those. Yeah.
Watch out for your cornhole. Remember that in Office Space?
Hey, oh, my God,
when he's going to turn in that letter, and he's like, hey, Peter, man, watch out for your cornhole. Like, that's what it's going to be like when the games come out. Like,
It's gonna be hot and heavy, man. So it's gonna be wild. But like I said, I think some games are gonna suffer. They're gonna be victimized by just falling by the wayside because it's just too much going on. It's like opening up too many presents on Christmas Day and you don't know which one to play with. You know what I mean? Because
we've been learning that lesson
in front of you, and you're like, "What the hell? What am I gonna do now?"
The past couple of years, we stopped buying our kids so many things because my kids are really good about being fairly gracious or grateful, but you get numb as you just open up thing after thing after thing, and it's just like it becomes you got to get the sweet spot. And Xbox has made us wait for games for so long that maybe they are kind of entering the sweet spot where like we have a little bit too many games. That's not correct grammar. We have a little bit of too many games in the pipeline. So if we kind of move them a little bit, we can kind of stay in that very fresh.
The only outlier is Grand Theft Auto. And
yes.
I know I know everybody's like, oh, well, what's the big deal? If you don't understand, it's going to be the biggest game in history. I believe it. I truly believe it's going to be the biggest game in history. Definitely the biggest launch in history. And it's certainly going to be the biggest moneymaker to ever hit the game industry. All right. And therefore, as a result, it cannot be ignored. Whether you like it or not, whether you're looking forward to the game or not, you cannot ignore it. And because of that, it's messing up the whole year, at least the second half of the year, where people really don't know what to do. And I think that some games are going to slip as a result of it, or they're going to come out earlier as a result of it. So we're going to just have to wait and see. And we're going to have to let these companies decide, because right now they're not happy. You think they're happy about this? You think they're happy about this? They're pissed that they have to dance around this big behemoth.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm hearing that.
It's a once in a decade experience where Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto comes in and it's a bull in a china shop. I think if you're a studio that wanted their moment in 2025, you maybe are pissed. Yeah, I think you're right.
They are, and I know that they are. I've spoken to some of them that say that like they're tired of it. They're like, say something. Like, say something, do something, because everybody's waiting for your ass. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like the designated driver. You got 6 drunk guys standing outside, and they're like, where the hell is this guy? We're all trying to go home.
He pulls up in a Prius. Will Bro Boy Lewis, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, will Towerborn have a full release for Xbox in 2025? Yes. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it will. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big of a game. The other one that's not that big, he says, Expedition 33 is not on your list, or did I miss it? I played Expedition 33 behind closed doors at E3 2023. Yes, E3 2023. I played it in a session with Paris Lily. It's a top-down roguelite horde, like Diablo style game. I did not like it. Like, maybe people will think it's really cool, but it's got very simplified graphics. It's not really getting talked about. Hopefully it does really well for that team, but that's a partnered third-party exclusive on the Xbox platform and Game Pass. I think it's exclusive. I don't really care. I don't really talk about it because I don't know how many people are excited about it, but I hope it does well for that team. Michelle, thank you so much for another 20. NOK says, next year in gaming is going to be like Christmas. The whole year is going to be like that. It'll be fantastic. Thank you to over 500 people plus who are watching us. We're live on YouTube. We're also on demand here with timestamps. I don't know how I'm going to timestamp this one, Mag.
I don't know.
I'm not going to put all the video games that we talked about because that's going to be my next video.
It was a heavy show, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. 33 Immortals. Oh, yeah, Expedition. What? Expedition 30. Oh, that's a different game. Yeah, dude. Churro Bear and Androdamus are like, yeah, Cole, you mean 33 Immortals. Yeah, 33 Immortals where you could play up to 33 people online was the game I was describing. Expedition 33, I have the trailer for it. Hang on one second. I think. Let me see here. I love that. I love that. Don't I? I'm not seeing it. Hang on. One more check. No, I don't know what that is. Let me go back to Will. Expedition 33 is not on your list. Is it something that's partnered with Xbox, Meg? Do you know anything about that game?
No, I know nothing about it.
Expedition. I don't even know how to spell right now. Expedition 30. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse the more I type. What does it look like? Just getting a logo. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pop a video for me to look at. It's a third-person game. Kind of looks like Banisher's Ghost of New Eden.
Right.
It's this is from Ginger Prime, who's I've been on his show. I don't see any gameplay yet. It's kind of like a Final Fantasy style thing. Let me see if it's like on Game Pass or whatever. I don't know. We've kind of gone over, but I'm sorry. I'll look into that more. Meg, it's been a really great show. I'm really tired, and tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
What are you and the family going to do for New Year's Eve?
Well, I have to work tomorrow, New Year's Eve, up until about 7 o'clock, and then I'm having a big house party up the road at my neighbor's house, and then I'm going to sleep for 4 hours and go back to work again. So probably intoxicated. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Did you say you have to work on New Year's Day as well?
Yes, at like 7 a.m. So I'm going to be like up to like at least 2 or 3, and then go to work at 7. And then I'm only there till 2 o'clock, so it's not the end of the world. But I'll go back to bed after that. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, and then I'm just working the rest of the week as normal, man. Because what I did is I gave the rest of my staff all the holidays off. Oh, so I said, you guys take the holidays. I go, you guys take the holidays. I'll work through it for you guys, and then let them do their thing. So
speaking of nice guys, we have Randall Thor 19 in the chat. Who's crashing chats and making an appearance. Sometimes I'm like, Rand, you need to be more, get in chats and chat with people. He's like, I'm not a social guy. I'm like, bro, you talk to thousands of people every day. Like, people love to hear from you. It's good. I talked to him today for a little bit. Yeah, that's so funny. He says, surprised Mag isn't asleep yet.
Dude, I'm almost there now. I'm halfway there now.
I'm exhausted. Yeah. We're going to get out of here. Mag, it was a great show. I'm looking forward to next year. You and I have had a great year on X&C. I'm so grateful for you. And
it's been a wild year, brother.
We're going to resume our promo. Really excited to do our promo starting next week. I was been talking to them, so we'll be back on that. Meg, any parting words to say to everybody before we go into next year?
Well, no, I was going to say, Colt, it was a great year, another great year for us, and just see things getting better and better, and it's getting exciting, and it's going to be a wild year for us personally and gaming-wise, and everybody out there in the chat. Everybody have a safe and happy New Year, and we'll see you guys all next week. We're not taking any break. We're just going to go right through, and everybody enjoy themselves, enjoy gaming, and be nice to each other, all right?
Yeah,
that includes all of you. Okay, Randall Thor specifically, who's obviously very toxic human being. Corey, no for life. Magnum, the rest of you guys all know each other. Listen, you want to watch some toxicity? Come to my channel and you come see me stream live, and then see how angry I get when I get stuck in a game. But anyways,
everybody in the chat, tell Randall Thor starting January 1st. Videos.
You want the camera? Cut your hair, clean up the beard. I'll come down. I'll dress you up real nice, and then we're gonna get you on camera, and then we're gonna get Randall Thor on camera.
Yep.
Okay.
When he's ready for camera, we will all Meg and I will help you.
We'll make
you look super pretty What's this?
I'll buy you a bunch of arcade cabinets you can put in the background. There you go. That'll be
He's
your
gonna
background.
put books and some cool stuff like that.
He said he could do that. He'll do books and arcade cabinets. Make it look like a real 80s joint. But anyways, all seriousness, Colt, thank you again for another great year. Chat, we can't do this without you. And you guys have been amazing and so supportive the entire year and been absolutely amazing. Every single one of you, even the ones who aren't so nice to us all the time. But it don't matter. The fact is you're still here. So that's a great thing. But anyways, everybody have a great night. Have a happy new year. And we'll see you guys all next week.
Be safe, guys. Thanks so much, Mag. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Meg said it all. Bye. Later.